Yeah, there was a podcaster in Bavio.
He reached out to me.
Yeah, but he
passed away.
died. After shooting us like 3 months later, he passed away.
His name is Jacob. He's one
Jacob.
of the local guys there. Really, really nice guy. Had a lot of good ideas for helping the community. The idea of his podcast also was to be a verbal archive about the town. It's really good. But
What started, like, I think when he was alive doing it, right, it was a archive of the people that visit the town. But I guess after he's passed away, it's more of an archive of his memories, you know? Because he didn't get to go around much. So meeting all these people, he kind of traveled to all these places doing the podcast. So it's sad lah, he passed away. He's a very nice guy.
Damn. Why did he pass away?
So he had a lot of health ailments lah. Well, but his story is really sad lah, because his dad passed away. His mother got cancer. Then he had a stroke in his 30s. He had a stroke in his 30s. Then he was a bit disabled. He went for rehabilitation and all. He became okay. Then after that, it just...
Is it recording?
Yeah, he got into a bit too much alcohol as well.
Yeah.
It kind of killed his insides lah. Then after a while, he just went to sleep like on a couch and he didn't wake up.
What was his name?
Jacob.
Jacob. Okay, yeah. This dude from Barrio reached out to me also. You guys did his podcast.
Yeah.
It was probably a small scale podcast. Dude in a small town. Yeah, he asked me to do his podcast, but just unfortunate news. Just found out he passed away.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We've got Ash and Jon on the podcast, the creators of SmallTownsMY.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second time on the podcast.
Yeah.
So how long has it been? 2 years.
2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
And how many small towns have you all covered?
106.
106.
Yeah.
106.
When we first did the podcast 2 years ago?
That was about
less than 30.
30.
Yeah.
30.
Less than 30. Damn. Okay, so you're accelerated.
Yeah, but it's not really fast as we want it to be because we have to juggle the juggling.
Pretty fast already, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, so I'm sure some listeners don't who probably didn't see the first episode. Yeah, tell a bit about what you guys do, man. I feel like you guys are living the life, actually being immersed in the real Malaysia, right? Experiencing the countrysides, small towns, kampungs, basically. Yeah. Tell people what you guys do, man.
So we go to small towns and we make videos of them. So that's to cut it short lah.
Yeah.
So basically what we do, we want to document every small town in Malaysia, every kampung and we're just looking at things that are not cities. So besides maybe Johor Bahru, Kuala Lumpur, Kota Kinabalu, Georgetown, Penang, we are not going to cover the big cities. Maybe later on we'll do segments on them, but we're looking at all the small towns.
Big towns also probably not.
Big towns, depends lah. It really depends.
Like, we've done Taiping, which is quite
It's
a
a
big
huge
town.
town.
It's a huge town.
It's basically a city lah.
But it has that nice small town vibe. It has a very nostalgic feel to it.
How did this all start actually, man? I know we talked about it before, but we can briefly go through it as well, man.
Okay, so John and I, we run a production company. So we've started in 2015. So 2015 we started this production company. It was doing quite okay. We're doing weddings and all of this. Doing weddings, we got bored of doing weddings. We went into corporate production, which was even worse than weddings, by the way.
In what sense?
Because there's no soul lah.
Okay.
Of course, there is some creativity involved, but usually corporate clients are like, no, we want it this way. This is the only way to do it. So you stifle your creativity. So then we were like, okay, maybe we should go into like travel and tourism and do hotels and whatever not. So 3 years down the road, 2018, I think it was, we started doing like focusing mostly on hotels and tourism.
Yeah.
So while doing that, that was a lot of fun lah. That was like, money was good. We were traveling here and there. We were earning good money from it. Then COVID hits.
Yeah.
COVID hits and it just annihilates everything lah.
Yeah.
We were stuck in Tioman for 3 months during that time. So for 3 months, we
Stuck because literally couldn't move.
couldn't move. So we went in to film a documentary, to shoot something. Then next day, COVID announced, and we're just stuck there for 3 months.
So did you all complete the project?
It's still pending.
A lot of things changed.
Might get back to it also.
My guy, I
We
think
should lah.
I think the documentary has
Evolved.
evolved, but I think we're still proceeding with it.
What was it about? What is it about?
Back then, it was about deep sea reefs, like deeper than 30 meters.
Okay.
So it was a documentary about that, but now it has shifted to something else that's a bit PNC at the moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
can. Yeah. Okay. So what happened after that?
So COVID basically annihilated our income stream lah. So we focused more back into corporate jobs. So we were doing that 2020, 2021, we did animation, whatever we could lah. But I think 2022, right? We just were like, I moved back to my small town, my hometown, Batang Berjuntai. And
Batang Pechuntai, where is that?
Batang Berjuntai is
Seremban,
in...
is it?
No. It's in Kuala Selangor, near Kuala Selangor.
Okay.
So it's in the district of Kuala Selangor. It's in the northwest
Okay.
of
It's about 30 minutes away from Kuala Selangor.
Yo, bro, where is Kuala Selangor? Kedah.
No,
it's-
Selangor.
Cut that out.
yeah. It's in Selangor. It's in the northwest region of Selangor. So from KL, it's about 45 minutes to an hour lah, depending on traffic. So moving there, I realized that this town is quite nice. Like, you know, I grew up there for 11 years of my life, and moving back there, I realized that slow place. What did they call it? A slow life, is it?
Slow life, yeah.
Slow paced.
Yeah, slow-paced life where you get jobs done, but you don't have to worry about traffic. You don't have to worry about getting to meetings on time. You just Zoom call. So,
How long were you back in that town for?
so I would go off and on. So even before COVID, I would at least spend a month in the year back there. It's like balik kampung kind of thing.
This is your kampung, but it's not where you grew up, right?
It is where I grew up. I grew up for 11 years there.
Okay, and because I remember you told me you were pretty much in Subang area.
Yeah, so I moved around a lot.
Yeah.
So after 11 years in Batang Berjuntai, I moved to Seremban for a little while. Then I moved to Nilai. Then after that, I ended up in Subang
Okay.
when I was like 16, I think.
Okay, but after 11 years old, you were more towards the bigger towns and cities. already,
Yeah.
Yourself, John?
I'm born and bred in USG too.
Yeah.
And then after COVID, I decided to follow Ash to Batam Berjuntai to set up my office there as well. Just made sense working as a production to be in the same space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think it's always interesting, especially someone who is city, like straight up urban kid, right? Yourself, and then to do what you guys are doing right now, which is pretty much what you could say 90% of the time of the year you are. Is it safe to say 90% of the time you are not in the city, KL?
I would say two-thirds lah. 2/3 of the time lah.
Okay, so that's actually okay. You also actually spend a lot of time here also.
Yeah, because
I mean, we still have to go for meetings
okay,
and friends.
I
and
think I
whatnot.
got that wrong. Okay, 2/3 of the time we are in elsewhere, not at home. But 1/3 of time we're at home. But in KL itself, maybe you're right lah. Only 10% of our time lah in KL
Where is
itself.
home for you?
Kuala Selangor.
Kuala Selangor. Okay.
But I consider that KL. I don't know why.
Okay. Compared to all the other places that you guys are often spending time in, yeah, it's like it's like a KL to y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a lot of it was a lot of fun moving back there because we realized that okay, let's say you don't have money, and you go out to makan or whatever, you don't have cash on you. There's no QR pay or whatever, but you can just say, hey, I pay you tomorrow. You know, they know who you are, so they know where you live. So it becomes like a community. And you realize that, especially in the small towns, right? It's your home is not just your home itself. It expands to the entire town. Like you know, when you go out of your house, maybe in KL, you want to wear something nice, you want to, you know, basically a bit more on guard.
Yeah, okay lah. You're basically talking about the neighborhood feeling,
Ah,
where you are friends with all your neighbors. I mean, I'm gonna be real honest lah. I've got neighbors all around, right? This housing area. I don't even know their names, to be honest. The one next door, maybe I know his surname.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's about it lah. It's not. I guess it's not the same as a kampung or.
Kampung also, sometimes I don't know their names. Like, I realize people don't really know each other's names.
They don't
but
need to.
They don't need to. They're like, oh, that guy lives in the greenhouse. Or that guy's Mr. Lim. Or that guy is, he owns the char kway teow stall.
Yeah.
So, they know who they are, they know what they do, they know where they live, but sometimes they don't know their names. Like, a lot of times they don't know what the names are.
But ultimately, there's still no escape. People recognize everyone else, you know?
So I realized there's this thing in small towns and kampungs, like staying where we are now in Batang Muchuntai and also being stuck in Tioman for 3 months, right?
Yeah.
We realized the communities are different, but they're similar. They function the same way. So there's this like communal thing. You feel at home, you feel welcome, everyone knows each other. You don't need to pretend to, you know, you don't need to show off lah. Sometimes like when you go in KL and all, you see people like they wear nice handbag lah, you know, you wear nice clothes.
A lot lah.
A lot
Not
lah.
some lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, why do you think that's the case?
Because, why?
I mean, just explain it from the perspective of the people that you all meet.
I think it's social pressure. Like, when you step into an urban area and then you see everyone around you dress a certain way, you feel a pressure to conform to that. Whereas at the places...
Subconsciously or consciously lah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas at the places we go to, I mean, people are going around in their
Flip-flops. Every day, all day.
torn singlet shirts, things like that. You know, it's a much more relaxed atmosphere, you know?
Yeah. And also because maybe everyone kind of knows each other, so we don't value them for what they're wearing or what their jobs are, whatever. You value a person for
their
presence or how they make you feel, or I don't know lah. You just value a person differently lah.
So, yeah, where was the first town that you all decided to go and document and like straight up? Was it the first town that, like, did you all already know that okay, we're gonna try and cover the whole, because that's your goal, right? You want to cover the whole of small towns in Malaysia, right? East and West Malaysia.
Correct.
Yeah, but when you all went and document your first town, did you all have that in mind, or it was just an experimental thing?
We started in his hometown, Batang Berjuntai, and at that time, no, we did not think we were going to cover all the towns in Malaysia. We just because it was just after the lockdown opened up and work was still slow, so we needed something to fill up our time. And instead of rotting at home, Ash suggested that we go out and shoot the town, and that started the fire.
So it was supposed to be a one-off, like, oh, I want to make a video of my hometown.
Yeah.
It's nice enough. Then it did pretty well, and people were like, hey, you did your town, why don't you do my town as well? I invite you to my town, let's do my town. So I was like, okay, we'll do a few more. Then we had a small list. We said, okay, we'll do this.
These are all suggestions from the viewers.
Suggestions, yeah. And at that point, we weren't called Small Towns Malaysia yet. It was just Ash and John.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was under our production. So after like the 10th town or 11th town, maybe even 20th town, then we decided, okay lah, let's take the name Small Towns Malaysia. So that's how it got started lah. It happened lah.
How do y'all map out, like, where do y'all go? Do y'all like go from north to south, or it doesn't matter? It really doesn't matter.
Okay, we have an endpoint in mind, and then we plan what we are going to cover along to that endpoint.
Oh, so when you guys go out, right, it's gonna be a couple of towns that y'all hit.
Yeah, about 4 to 6. So, okay, let's just say, example May. So we have a project in Gemas with a plantation there. So we
Gemas.
still Gemas.
Where is Gemas?
Gemas
Malacca.
Negeri Sembilan.
Eh?
Negeri Sembilan.
Negeri Sembilan.
Yeah.
When you guys talk to other people and then you all mention all these small towns, do you expect them to to also?
It
Actually,
depends
it-
on the field that they are in.
It actually really depends. If we are talking to people, let's say our age, our generation,
Yeah.
They wouldn't know.
they wouldn't know unless they are specifically from that area or town. But if we are talking to maybe our parents or that generation,
They
yeah,
might.
they might. Yeah, a lot of times they're like, oh yeah, I know this place and
Yeah.
things like that. You know.
Yeah, you say where's Gemas?
Gemas is south of Negeri Sembilan.
Okay, yeah, you were saying?
So this this month we have to go to Gemas to shoot a durian plantation there. So we have to make a video for them. So it's a paid job.
Okay, I
Right?
see.
So
But at the same time, cover
Yes.
the town, like document the town as well.
yes, document the town and the journey. Like the journey there, there's going to be a few towns, and the journey back, there's going to be a few towns. So maybe we take the long way around, and then we hit a few more towns.
I have this idea that I would assume that I guess I'm not seeing the work side of it, but I'm thinking of it as it must be super relaxing, the whole trip. Does it feel like work? I mean, because you guys have covered many towns already. Maybe it can get tedious or something like that.
Yes and no lah. It is work lah because you still have to wake up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., get ready, go to town.
Reason being, like, wake up so early? Is there a specific reason?
Golden hour. So
Like
we
sunrise.
Sunrise,
we want to shoot between 7 to about 10 a.m. Yeah, 7 to 10 a.m. the light's nice. And then later in the evening again, maybe about 5 to about 8.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
But also a lot of the towns where we go to, they come alive very early in the morning.
Oh yeah, Kampung life.
Kampung life, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
We've
that
been
one.
to some places where like at 6 a.m. it's all up and running, and then by the time the sun comes out, everyone's back in their home and
Yeah.
they're chilling for the rest of the day
I
already.
mean, maybe there's not exactly a lot of pubs open late.
No.
Pubs or whatever. No, right?
Bars, no.
No nightlife, sir.
No nightlife. I mean, you have your, those tom yum warungs or those
Yeah.
Mamak shops.
mamak shops.
Mama also small. There's a lot of small towns also that don't have any mama.
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot that
Right.
don't have.
They have those, those
Kopitiams,
kopitiams or those roadside warungs,
uh.
where you can get your Maggi goreng fix and whatnot.
Dude, something that I'm curious to know because I've heard from a couple of guests, right, older guests, maybe in their 50s like that. They often talk about like last time. You know how these days, right? As we see, what we see online, right? Especially when it comes to political shit, right? A lot of racial segregation, tension, right? And then people say that, oh, last time in the 80s or 70s, you would see Malays go to Chinese Kopitiam. Like, it's just a normal thing. Do you guys see that in small towns?
Yes, it's still alive in
It's
small
still a
towns.
normal thing.
It's not all small towns,
Yeah.
but a lot of them. Like, we just came back from Kampung Kuantan, Kuala Selangor.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all a mix there. It's like there's Chinese Kopitiam selling Indian food. Patrons are like
Malay,
90% Malay,
Oh, serious?
Indians,
Yeah.
Chinese, all in there.
I mean,
So
the shop is a traditional Chinese kopitiam.
Kopitiam.
You know, it's legit in KL. You can't see that anymore, right?
I don't know lah. I haven't explored KL enough to.
I don't know if
I mean, okay lah. The place that you go get your wonton mee.
Yeah,
or,
definitely not.
You
lah.
you don't see that anymore lah.
In KL, it's a bit more difficult to see lah.
Yeah.
but in Sabah and Sarawak it's a bit more common.
Sabah Sarawak is
Oh, yeah.
it's on steroids lah. It's like Muhibah on steroids lah.
It's a whole different world there.
It's a whole different world. People literally don't care so much so that if you bring up these things, it's like, why are you talking about it?
They cannot be bothered.
They couldn't be bothered. It's not really an issue.
You see, that's the thing, bro. I'm a urban kid. I'm living the city life, okay. What I see online, of course, if you consume a lot of it, right, you have this impression, like for the most recent one, people fighting over the Jalur Gemilang. You all see that shit,
Yeah.
It's just something that I cannot be bothered, Okay, at first, what the Sintru Daily fucked up,
Yeah.
and then after that, the Department of Education.
Yeah.
What was it? There are some of their
The-
course exercise works or what that they prepared was.
I think the
Something,
report for the I think
SPM,
lah,
yeah.
report for the SPM they did the Jalur Gemilang wrong, which
Was AI generated.
I'm not sure lah.
It was AI generated.
Yeah.
Okay, so AI is not perfect lah. They
Yeah.
fuck up, and then the flag, I forgot, there's 2 stars or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then people are like, it's just all the hoo-ha left and right. So when you see this shit online, you think like, oh, there's really tension of people fighting, or why are people being so irrational and all. But you guys see a lot of the whole real Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, man? Do you think this shit is real?
Okay, so for me personally lah,
Yeah.
it's not a race thing. It's not like whether it's Sinchu or wherever. It's not a Chinese, Malay, Indian thing. It's a problem with national pride that we have. I feel that way because, like, as the editor of a newspaper, right, you should have been more diligent. Because it's your flag. It is the country's flag. So if you're losing a part of the flag, that means you're not representing the flag. And it's such a stupid mistake, lah. And it's a small mistake, but has a big impact. Unfortunately, there is this political and this racial lens towards a lot of things, which I don't think there should be. I think it should be seen for what it is. It's a mistake. And yeah, I'm not one to say lah, how they should be addressed lah, but it is a mistake lah.
So I think they fined them, right?
I think so lah. I think so.
Do you think that, I don't know, man, bro, but because for me, I would think, oh, it's simple as you made a mistake, don't make it twice, right?
Yeah.
You can forgive someone.
Yeah.
But when it how do you say when the reaction is this big, and obviously the reaction is ignited and enhanced by political parties, right? They feel pressured lah to go and find them or take some action like that. But for me, I feel like it's just simple as, don't just say sorry, you fuck up, and I don't even think there should be a fine like that.
I think a fine is necessary because, like I said, it is our national identity.
Yeah.
You grow up in whatever school you go to, you learn how to draw the Malaysian flag, how many stars and everything like that. So
How do you not know how to?
Correct.
Yeah, how do you not know?
So this is again
And it's a big newspaper lah.
Yeah.
It's like even us small towns were really tiny, but if there's a mistake on the flag, I'm gonna shoot. I'm like shooting myself in the foot lah.
Yeah.
we have made mistakes in, let's say, the information we present on certain towns. Even on that level, we get called out on it in our comment section.
Okay.
So
He makes spelling mistakes. I might be a little bit dyslexic because I was dropped on the head.
yeah,
You were
Yeah, I was.
as a baby.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
Like
Can't-
whoop. Yeah.
can't
Okay.
confirm or deny that. If he says it happened, it happened.
No, my grandma dropped me on the head.
Okay. So you seem fine
Uh,
for now. Yeah. Okay. So what happened? They, if I'm not mistaken, they fined Sinchu Daily, right? But
Yeah.
because what it seems like, right? Obviously for Chinese people, right? We think that they're just making it an easy target, to political parties, right? Right-wing political parties are gonna. It's an easy target lah. You bash Sinchu,
Yeah.
right? To show that they are. But the thing is, right? They're trying to show like it's intentionally done to. It's an intentional racist action like that, which I think that is definitely not the case. Intentional,
it's definitely unintentional.
think the
there are
issue-
better ways to do
Yeah.
if you want to carry out a racist
Yeah.
act.
Correct.
Right?
It's
But
definitely not intentional.
I think the
feel.
issue has been overly dramatized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then after that, the follow-up was the Department of Education who fucked up, and then our Prime Minister also came out and say, okay, fine, if you guys, how do you say it? if they were fined, Sinchu Daily were fined, same thing should happen to the Department of Education, which also of course makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just as me, as someone online watching and all, I think it's just blown up, a bit too
Definitely,
blown up.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too blown out, and the voices of these keyboard warriors are too strong, and we listen to them too much.
And bro, that's the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
And now, so we are number one in cyberbullying. Okay, not in the whole. I think Southeast Asia. I can't remember. If Vishnu can help check. Cyberbullying. We are. Is Malaysia number one? Yeah. In the world or Asia. Yeah, but anyways, it's like bro, it's come to a point where we have to accommodate. We already like, okay, our netizens are very sensitive, you know, so we also have to act that way. Instead of like, we have to be more hardy, you know, not so sensitive like that. But bro, really, I see our comments all every time there's a headline, right? The first few comments is always gonna be they want more punishment, and it's all condescending, sarcastic.
For me lah, personally, for our page, 99.99% is positive. It's all like, you know, everyone's positive and they're bringing each other up. There will be that one racist guy.
Oh, there is also
There is always
there's
not
one
on every video.
dissatisfied person.
Yeah,
but about what?
it will be like, oh, this place is full of this certain race people, or this place is not
very-
welcoming to certain people, which
Yeah.
is not true. You know,
Is it a bot account perhaps, or
maybe it's a bot account. Maybe it's not. I haven't delved deep into it.
I mean, it's not something we put a lot of energy into. Like, why
Yeah,
bother, right?
Yeah. And if you take that into consideration for the Malaysian populace, let's say we take our comment section for the towns or the Malaysian populace, that means only, 0.001% of people are like this.
definitely?
But they shout the loudest, and we listen to them. Why are we listening to them?
You see, right?
Why?
Hope you're enjoying so far. And if you are enjoying and you want to see more of this content, please help me out. It would really support me a lot if you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment what you thought about today's episode, and
Yes.
enjoy the rest of the episode.
Like and subscribe.
I got the statistic.
What's up?
So Malaysia ranks second in Asia behind India, and and it also showed that 23% or 1 in 4 Malaysian parents reported that their children had experienced cyberbullying. 1 in 4.
Okay, in school is a different case. Yeah, high school is a whole different case. I don't think that one is it's not so much of a racial thing. It's just kids are
Kids
they
are
just,
bullies.
They just bully.
Kids are mean.
Brian, can you imagine Malaysia, a country of like what 30 million,
30 million, yeah.
is second to India, a country with like what 2 billion people?
No, bro, yeah, that's crazy. But I guess the metrics that they're using who knows what the fuck is the metrics they're using, right?
So yeah, look at these metrics as well, right? There's a lot of things that say, oh, this place food is better. I think it's Taste Atlas and all this. I'm calling them out as well. Where are you getting this information, bro? What index are you reading?
Okay, I see. You mean like just Taste Atlas is the name of the...
It's one of those pages that says that, this food is the best in the world, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They give a list. And then there's like worst traffic in these countries.
Sorry, Taste Atlas, was this just recent yesterday or something?
No,
A few
they've
days
been
ago?
doing it for a while.
No,
But
because I saw something that said that Malaysia has the best
curry or
curry,
yeah, curry or
yeah.
something
Once
like that.
again, like,
Yeah.
how you
How
you know?
how are you counting these things? Like for us also, we give every year we do best towns.
Yeah, you will
best small towns.
It's very subjective, and
It's very subjective.
It's just what me and Ash think about the places we have visited throughout the year. You know,
Literally, these are the best towns according to 2 people.
yes,
two people, yeah.
That's why we put it down there. We say like, okay, according to our travels, we've been to so many towns already now. This year, these are our favorite towns.
Yeah, and let the people fight in the comments. Doesn't
let them
matter.
fight,
Let them find out,
So,
but
it's good. That's why Taste Atlas is so famous because everyone's fighting in the comments.
Like I think a couple of months ago, I like buffets. I'm a fan of buffets. I like to think that the reason why I'm a fan of buffets, right, is because I love to eat. That's number one. But my standard, my taste buds, right, it doesn't actually go that high. So let's say 1 to 10, right, mine will cap at like 7. Okay, so 7 for me, I'm good. So that's why I like buffets. And then you've got a lot of variety, just eat whatever. But I remember searching buffets, right, and then once you search for top buffets or what in KL, there's so many pages and you have no idea what to trust or what. So the best thing you can do is, I guess, you go and search videos of the food itself. But yeah, how would you actually know? All super subjective.
Yeah, it is. Food is super subjective.
I think like everything we do, even like the towns we cover, or what we say is like the best town for the year, it's all subjective. We can't meet everyone's standard, right?
And it's different experience. Like, let's say we went to a certain time, we had a great experience. Like Barrio, we had an amazing experience. But I've also had friends who went to the same town. They say, "Oh, the people weren't nice to me." You know, it could be they didn't put out something, or people just didn't like their face.
Why do you think they didn't have a good experience?
Yeah,
Who knows? Could be many
many things.
Could be they were outputting a negative energy, or they were a bit rude,
Yeah.
or depends.
Or they were expecting the urban life in a small ass town or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's possible also.
It's
I feel that a lot of the thing about traveling in small towns, you cannot expect the same level of treatment you'll get from going to a resort or some place with a much higher standing on a tourist scale,
Bro, sometimes I don't know, man. Maybe there's people that actually have a superiority complex where they think like, oh, because I'm urban in the city, right? People should be excited to meet me like that.
I
You know
don't
what I mean?
think it's because of where you're from. I think might be a
mentality
mentality
issue.
or a status thing. Like, I am paying you, and thus you should serve me this way.
Yeah, so we were in Tioman over Raya for 3 weeks, kan.
Yeah.
So you meet a lot of people, lah. You meet a lot of travelers. You meet a lot of strange people from a certain island country nearby.
Singapore? Oh, okay. You mean the Kiasu bunch?
Yeah, not all of them. I have a bunch of lovely Singaporean friends as well, but
okay.
some of them. Some of them. So I was in the water swimming.
Were you doing, or was it work or just
Yeah, just leisure swimming. I had a nice. So when I'm on the island, I usually do afternoon swims, evening swims. So maybe about 1 or 2 km like that. Come back to the beach. There's this lady on the beach. She's like just chilling. She's like in her 40s, I guess. She has a kid on the beach. So I say, hey, be careful. The waves today are quite strong. Make sure he doesn't get sucked out.
yeah.
So she's like, oh, okay, thank you for telling me. And then I just hit up a conversation. So I say, so where are you from? Oh, I'm from Singapore. I asked her, what does she do? It's like, oh, I don't know how to tell you. It's okay, tell me. I'm a doctor. I'm like, so?
So what?
So what?
Oh, wait, so that was her point now.
That was the point. She's like, because I'm a doctor, I'm so high up there, it shames me to tell you low folk. Because she thought I was islander.
Hey, that's funny, bro. No, wait. No, wait, are you sure maybe you weren't reading it wrong, the situation?
Maybe I read it wrong, but okay.
What, did she say what type of doctor?
No, she didn't. I didn't ask her. I said, oh, okay, cool, you're a doctor. Conversation continues, by the way. She is like, oh, the people on the island here, some of them are very educated. I'm like, okay, what do you mean educated? Oh, this auntie at the pizza shop, she's not like local people. She's well spoken. She
doesn't bark,
Yeah. I'm like, this lady, she is an islander.
Yeah.
She grew up on the island. She's educated on the island. She just went, outside for a little while, then she came back. Then she's, oh, that's why she's so, worldly and
down to earth.
No. Look. You're getting it all wrong. The people in the island and people in the small towns,
Yeah.
just because they're there in one place, or if they move in or come out, or whatever it is, it doesn't give you the right to judge them in terms of education or in terms of being worldly or whatever it is, lah. I think that is the mentality a lot of city folk bring into the small towns, that all these people are not educated. I am educated. I live in the city. I think it's this balance, because city people don't have the freedom that small town people have, so they think they've given up something.
Freedom in what sense?
So, okay, small town lifestyle. You wake up in the morning, go for breakfast, go to Kopitiam, go to work for a little while.
Little while. Keyword is little while.
Little while.
Yeah.
If you're working on the farm, sometimes it's like just the morning section. You have your lunch, you go take a nap.
Yeah. And get ready to drink all night, is it?
No, Muslim communities, they don't drink, so they'll chill.
Just lepak whole day.
Lepak. So they think that this makes their world really small. But actually now with the internet and general common sense of people, it's something I see a lot of city people bring to the small towns.
And okay lah, is I think you mentioned also just now, it's like you cannot actually blame the city people also. Because bro, you imagine you're a corporate slave lah, okay? Everyone you talk to, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to have you are judged based on your general knowledge.
Yeah.
Based on how updated you are in whatever economic news or political news, perhaps, or just our local news, stuff like that. So you sort of need to know things. Whereas if you're in a kampung, you know whatever the fuck you want to know, whatever you're interested in, and that's about it.
But I think everyone is in their own bubble. Like everyone is in their own echo chamber. City people are in their own city people echo chamber, and kampung people are in their own kampung echo. It's all echo chambers. Like, you might have a different opinion from another person 2 houses down because of the echo chambers in social media as well. And most information now is obtained from social media, right?
Yeah.
So you only get what you follow or what you're interested in or what makes you angry.
That's a very important point, because what makes you angry, for people that don't realize this, I think by now you should realize this. What makes you angry is what makes social media companies. It means for them business is booming.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are agitated, if you are fired up, you are going to comment, which is engagement. So that is a big plus for social media companies. So as big corporations do, they push that shit and shove it in your face because they want a reaction. Yeah. Dude, something interesting that I also did one of the reels about this. We're talking about Malaysians who do not speak Bahasa. Okay. And then my friend was saying, Ashraf, he was saying, oh, people Chinese people talking about Kelantan people, oh, they're in their own bubble like that. Then he's like, motherfucker, you are living in a bubble. You cannot converse out of the 5-6 people in outside of English that stay in Monkera. So you are also in your own bubble, which is the truth lah. But it's not it is true. People will judge you.
Yeah.
If you're from a smaller town or whatever. But both also is in echo chambers lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, both are in echo chambers, and there are pros and cons. It seems like small towns versus big cities right now. Like
that makes it interesting lah.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it that way,
yeah.
But it's also personal bias
Personal bias.
But
Yeah.
bro, something I'm interested to know, like you talk to these people, right, dude? Do they bring up talk to you about political news or not?
Sometimes.
They do. So I really want to know, man, like what are the things that people in small towns, right, what are they unhappy about with our country? If you guys have chatted long enough, maybe they would tell you some of the things.
They're unhappy about whatever government it is. People are going to be unhappy. There's I've not seen anyone happy with any government.
Yeah.
If you talk about current government, they'll say they're unhappy about this. If you talk about previous government, they'll have something to say. So it's really, really difficult to put a pin on exactly what they're unhappy with, because I honestly think that people are just going to be unhappy with things that they
No control.
they have no control of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like whenever some new prime minister or president goes into government, after a few months later, suddenly they're doing bad already.
Yeah,
I mean, the critics, that's what the narrative from the critics is. It's suddenly, they're doing bad, they're underperforming, blah, 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 which is the case for every prime minister or president's term.
I feel that people in these positions are under such a microscope that everything about them can be criticized. Everything they do can be criticized. But sometimes you just need to take a step back and actually view what they are doing from a larger scale. Then maybe what they're doing is not too bad, But because we're always holding them under a microscope, it's very, very too easy to see everything they're doing wrong. Let's say for us, we go to many, many places and we stay in many, many places, some of which look very, very nice. But then if you put these very, very nice places under the same microscope, you begin to see the cracks also. Then once you notice the cracks, that's all you see.
Okay, you're talking about the small towns also, they have their flaws, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely,
Of course,
everywhere has their flaws.
Yeah. Let's in terms of like experiencing any like hostility, have you guys ever experienced any of that in small towns?
Hostility, I wouldn't
Racism,
say.
perhaps.
I wouldn't say hostility, but do you know this feeling where you go somewhere and there's a general kasaness, like the people there are like tough. They're like tough people.
Oh, I would like to know what areas you guys are talking about, man. Where
they're
these tough dudes
not
from?
like gangsters or it's just like
Hardy.
they're hardy.
Yeah.
So that's as hostile as what we were experienced. Most of the towns we go to are very, very
But
nice.
it's not hostile, they're just kasa in the sense that, oi,
You know, like you
pergi
go to
mana?
you go to the wet market and you hear people yelling at each other, but they're just like conversing kind of thing.
Bro, there's this Kopitiam that I eat at Hock Chu. You guys went to Tioman already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you guys visited any other Fuchao towns in Malaysia?
Fuchao.
I think the East Malaysia there is. Southeast Malaysia there is a couple.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Okay, never mind. But anyways, one thing I noticed, the Kopitiam aunties, right? It's maybe not just Fuchao lah, but they are super rough, man. The whole time she's just shouting, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like he's scolding the husband, who I don't know how the husband stay with her for 50, 60 years lah, but they are stuck together forever. And they're just talking normally, or maybe she has a hearing problem, but she's shouting like she's angry, bro.
Yeah. So
It's not this thing, it's a
everywhere.
Kampung thing.
Yeah. Like it's not just Chinese. Like
Oh,
we've been to Indian restaurants where we see the same thing. We've been to Malay restaurants where we see the same thing.
Yeah, it's
so okay, so
like that.
you all see a lot of this shit, right? Why do you think they're like that, lah?
I just think it's because of the environment. Like sometimes,
it's loud.
yeah, the restaurant gets loud and
Okay.
you need to yell stuff. So and maybe
Fast pace.
fast pace.
And
then
some people are not used to it.
some people are not used to it. Yeah.
Some people can't live without it.
You all visit small towns during Chinese New Year?
We have, but not on Chinese New Year itself.
Okay.
Like
Second week,
yeah,
third week, like that.
first like the few weeks before, few weeks after, maybe.
Yeah, because small towns, right? Chinese New Year is their prime time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say just Chinese New Year. I think Raya, Deepawali depends on the demographic of
Sorry, I was being very biased.
the town.
Yeah.
But it's like Gawai, Kamatan.
Yes.
you know?
Sorry.
So
Yes.
these small towns come alive during the celebrations, lah. It's
Yeah.
true. And
Prices also go up. They jack up the prices.
That one don't say that. Everywhere has the same.
Yeah. True.
it becomes KL prices.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, just now you were saying you talk about last year and the year before. I think you would do a best towns, right? So you have a couple. What were the best towns last year for you?
Last year,
And why? I keep in mind, guys, this is subjective to these two Malaysians.
yeah. Wait, I have them written down from last year's thing.
Sure, bro. Chill.
So Baguio, number one.
You want to go from
Do you say?
lowest to
Sorry, you
highest?
say Barrio?
Baguio,
Yeah.
yeah.
The only thing I heard about Barrio, right, is rice. Is that
Yeah.
true?
Okay, like to be very, very honest, if you go to Barrio, it's great for ecotourism. If you want to go hiking, trekking, just chilling in the
Do
town,
you say trekking?
trekking, like
Jungle trekking.
Okay.
so that's great. But if you're looking for
Food?
food is okay lah.
Food is good also.
If you're looking for more than that, like touristy activities or things like shopping malls, things like you're not going to get it there.
Yeah, you shouldn't go to that town for that, lah.
But I would say food also is pretty damn good lah. So we stayed in this homestay, J&J homestay, Auntie Ju and Uncle Joseph lah. So they
How do you hook up? Like get hook up with them?
before we go to the town, we put on.
Sounds wrong to say that.
Yeah.
bro, sorry. Yeah,
So
how do you get hooked up?
How do I get hooked up?
Yeah.
So basically, sometimes before we go to a town, especially a town that's so far and so secluded,
Yes.
we'll post on our stories, or sometimes we know some friends from there. We'll go and we'll ask them, hey, I'm going to this town. Do you have any advice? Do you have any contacts in the town? Then they sort of make their suggestions lah.
But I would assume sometimes, right, not to diminish your platform, but that might not do the trick, lah. No one will reach out. So how do you source it, man?
Google.
Google? We don't do it all the time. So certain towns we know that we can do enough research online, we'll do it then. Only when we need to, we will be like, okay, I need to reach out to people.
So, these small towns, right?
Yeah.
Do they all at least have a motel?
No.
No, right? So that's why I was thinking, if you guys go there, how do you all stay? If you don't know people there, you know what I mean?
We'll stay maybe 1 or 2 towns away where there is accommodation, and then we will travel to these towns. And usually they're
I
about
see.
30, 40 minutes
We
away.
don't stay in all the towns that we should.
Okay, because there's literally no stay place.
Some places, no accommodation.
Unless you go and make friends with some uncle and then
Yeah, then
Yeah.
stay in the house.
Yeah.
But sometimes staying in people's house is not conducive
you
for...
catch him staring at you in the middle of the night. With his pants down.
Touch wood, that has not happened to us yet.
Yeah. Oh, you actually done that?
Yeah, it's stay in people's houses. Umi's house?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's someone that you already have known for a
we're
while?
friends with. Yeah.
Okay, friends are...
Yeah, and the great thing about what we do is we meet a lot of people, right? So sometimes these people are like, hey, my kampung is a few towns over. Can you come visit? Or, we have a place to stay there. Then we'll say, okay, maybe next trip, because usually our trips are planned. So we will say, okay, next trip, we definitely have to go there. Then we will go and stay with them.
Keep the contact.
Yeah, keep the contact.
Okay. Yeah. You all were saying the best towns that you all visited last year.
Yeah, Barrio is number one.
Barrio's number 1, definitely.
Yeah,
Barrio
why?
is-
Barrio's very chill. Like for me lah, I just went there and you go to some places and you instantly feel connected to it.
Okay, so we were supposed to be there for 3 days. It extended to like 5 days. Then we just decided to stay for 2 weeks. That's how good it was.
Okay, so how many the first after 5 days y'all weren't doing work already? It's leisure.
Yeah, it was basically, we already got everything we needed after 3 days. And we were just like, I don't want to leave this place. It's so, the community is so warm. So one of the stories, so I went for a hike up in Prayer Mountain. So I think it's a 2-hour hike lah. So I came down and everyone just finished church. And people were just walking back to their longhouses. And they saw me coming down. And this old tapu, this old grandma, she's like, my longhouse is just here. Come. I was like, okay. Yeah, and she like cooked for me and she,
The two celebrities.
No, they didn't even know who we were.
Okay.
But to be fair, to put it in context, the day before he saw this grandma carrying like big pots. So he just went and helped the grandma. And
Okay.
so
Yeah.
This the grandma that invited you?
Yeah.
invited
I
him.
see, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like super kind and nice. And the people there are I would say, like, they're different. They have this warmness to them. They're so welcoming, and it's the people lah. Barrio is the people lah.
I think it's one place where you really, really get what you put out.
Yeah.
So if you go there expecting, you're not going to get anything. But if you go there with an open heart and just like accept it for what it is,
Which is what you guys did.
yeah.
What is the population there? Because when I saw the video you all posted, Barrio, right, it's actually quite small. It's a small town.
It's like
700
700 people.
What?
Yeah, 700 people. The whole towns.
What?
And yeah.
700?
Yeah.
Or
Wait, bro.
less.
This has to be one of the smallest populated towns
No.
that you all been to. No.
No, we've been to even smaller, like Pulau Sibu off of Johor. It's a whole island that's 200 people there.
Yeah. There are more
Yeah.
cows than people on that island.
I think Pensiangan there's like 150.
Hey, bro, that's
Yeah.
mad, lah, bro. I think that's an insane experience, we dude.
Buayan there's 50 people.
50 people, yeah.
Yeah. Longko Gungan. Longko Gungan. We had to take a helicopter in.
Longko, what? Sorry?
Longko Gungan, Sabah.
Sabah, okay.
So
Sabah is
it's
huge, bro.
somewhere in
I
the
mean,
pedalaman lah.
Yeah.
So what we had to do was we worked with Layang Layang Flying Academy. They were going in to send some supplies in. So we hopped onto the helicopter. They took us all the way in. And then we found out there's 50 people in the kampung. They have a school. The school has I think 10 students in there.
Of course, because your town only got 50
Yeah,
people.
the kampung. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's on the foothills of Mount Kinabalu. There's a river going through. It's
Foothills of Mount Kinabalu.
yeah, it's beautiful. And to get there, the pilot Kugan, awesome guy lah. He's like going through the
Valleys,
valleys, you know.
yeah.
So it's like mountains, the rivers coming through. He's following the river and he's banking.
So
Oh, that was crazy, man.
by helicopter, the journey took us about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you want to trek like on foot, 13 hours.
Yeah.
Why is there a helicopter there specifically to?
No, so the pilots of Layang Layang, they have this thing where when they have enough, they'll buy stuff and then bring those stuff to the school kids there. Like,
Okay.
like food, like books, whatnot, whatever they need lah.
Handle some logistics stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine if you're so far in the interior, right? To get out, to go to Kota Kinabalu, you have to take a 13-hour trek through the jungle. And then after that, go on a 4x4 or boat for God knows how many
Wait,
hours.
13-hour track.
Trek on foot.
Is that what you did? No, right?
No, we took a
Okay,
helicopter.
yeah, that's
Helicopter,
okay.
So imagine it's difficult for them to get all of like the books and supplies because when they go out, it's a real emergency, right? So we Layang Layang and other people, and whenever they go in, they try to bring in as much as they can.
They also bring
Okay.
in doctors from the health ministry to go to these rural places.
Because they don't actually have a medical center
No, they
at
don't.
all.
No.
They have a hall that becomes a makeshift clinic sometimes.
Like a small day one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so actually,
Common area.
what lack of medical resources is a common thing in all these small towns.
Not just small towns, I would say, like the interior, like the deep interiors. Then
I don't think. Okay, so yeah, connectivity is an issue because there's no roads and all of that. But I think what our health ministry is doing, I have to give them. I have to salute them. Like with whatever they have, they give it all back to the community because they are taking helicopters into these places. The Kementerian Kesihatan actually pays for these things, you know. And even like if you have an ailment or something, even in Bali, I got sick. So I got a fever, a high fever. I don't know how I got a ear infection or something. It was in Baguio all the way there.
You have no idea how you got it.
I have no idea how I got it. Most likely swimming too much or something like that.
yeah, okay.
Swim, where do you swim, bro?
In the rivers, in the streams.
Did they look dirty?
Bro,
No, they're
clean.
super clean. They're
Is
super
it?
clean,
Okay.
but you know, yeah, maybe I was digging it too much or whatever lah. But I did get a ear infection.
And it got better.
Yeah, I got bad. I got a fever. I went straight to the clinic.
Wait, the clinic in Barrio.
In Baguio, clinic kesihatan. So most of these towns have a clinic kesihatan, and they work pretty well lah.
Tell me, how's the clinic kesihatan? Like, it's just like a couple of staff and a doctor. That's it.
It's like they have one person at the reception, then they have 2 or 3 doctors and a few nurses.
Yeah. Okay, that's really cool, man. A
Yeah.
town of 700 people,
Yeah.
and they have one clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that is sufficient.
So last year Hari Raya, so I for some reason I visit clinic kesihatan quite a bit lah. I flew my drone. The drone hit a wire. It hit my face on
Wait,
Hari Raya day.
hit a wire, as in those electric poles,
Electrical
right?
wire. The float just went haywire, by the way. It is like that. It just took off, hit the wire, went spinning straight to my face.
So, you know those ones you see at the side of the roads.
Yes.
Okay, and then you were just below it, and it
Yeah.
or it just came to you. Or what?
No, it hit it, then it span. It crashed. It was crashing.
Damn.
It spin out like, whoa.
Yeah. Did you try to dive out?
Yeah, by the time I could only turn my face. So if not, it would have hit my eyes. So it hit my face, it hit here. You can still see the scar.
Oh.
I think somewhere here.
Did you have this the last time?
No.
Last time you told me also, I think you cut your ears or some shit.
No, last time it was my hand, I think.
Okay.
Or was it?
Yeah, bro, be more careful.
Yeah, I do need to be more careful. But yeah,
By perils of drone flyer.
Yeah.
So you can see the cut here, and then it tore my ear like halfway. So
Oh, I saw because you posted on your story.
Yeah, my story.
Fuck.
So it was hanging like halfway. So I had to be rushed to the clinic kesihatan on like Raya, the first day of Raya, you know.
How did you feel apart from pain? Like,
Actually, I think it was shock, so I didn't feel any pain. Only the next like few hours it started.
it's like
to
a open wound sort of pain
yeah,
like that.
it's
lah.
sort of open wound. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
I didn't feel that much pain when it hit lah, but I knew it was bad because it wasn't stopping. The blood was everywhere.
Okay.
And the doctors there, they said they asked me whether I want stitch
Sorry,
or
which
glue.
town were you in during this Hari Raya?
This was in Tioman.
Okay,
Kampung
Tioman.
Air Batang Tioman.
Okay.
So the locals there, they rushed me to the clinic, and the doctor said, well, you want to get it stitched up or do you want to glue? I said, which is better? I said, glue lah. So they glued it back. I don't know with what medical glue, but this, yeah.
Okay.
So
It's
you
just-
know, it could be elephant glue.
Yeah.
Super
Gajah glue. Yeah, uhu glue.
Yeah, and the ear looks, I think, basically normal now.
It's definitely normal.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, bro. So, let's say like Tioman, right?
Mm.
How big is the population? Any idea?
I think 3,000 people.
Not
Only?
sure lah.
Only
Really not
ah?
sure.
Yeah. It's yeah,
Oh.
okay. I cannot be certain because there's a certain percentage who are tourists, certain percentage who are locals. So
That kampung you're in obviously is a local space.
locals place, but there are tourists that come and stay in the homestays and whatever not.
Okay.
So the one we stay in is maybe only 20% tourist. Like other kampungs, it might be the other way around, 80% tourists. So there are 7 kampungs on Tioman Island. Yeah, so
Okay.
there's a lot of places to stay lah.
Actually, you all spend a lot of time in Tioman, right?
Yeah.
What is there a particular reason, or just comfortable?
One is we're super comfortable there, and 2 is we've kind of become hostages to the people there.
Why?
The
Oh, they
fam-
say, hey, don't chow lah, don't chow, stay longer.
Yeah. That and we want to stay longer lah.
I think it's like that when you become familiar with any place, when the
Yeah.
people there, people don't want you to leave,
And you don't want to leave.
and you don't want to leave.
It becomes like your home.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing as Balio as well. We went there, we got so close to the people
Yeah.
there, the family there, that we were like, I actually don't want to leave. It feels like a comfort zone.
Understand?
Yeah.
And it's like you also know when you leave, right? It's gonna be a lot of effort to go back there the next time, and you have
Yes.
no idea when that's gonna be, lah.
Yes.
And
but
also,
yeah, it has to happen.
sorry,
We have to leave, because
Yeah.
if we don't leave,
yeah,
then
We cannot
you all
continue
can stay there
small towns.
forever already.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. This like let's say towns like Baru, right? 700 population, because in small towns in general, right? Most of it they're gonna be facing a declining population, right? Is that a problem?
Yes.
It is a problem for the people there. Why?
Yes.
Why so? Like, did they talk to you all about that?
They don't really talk to us, but we can see it. You can see it like in Tioman. It's good because the local people, the local young people, a lot of them have stayed. No, I won't say a lot lah.
Tioman is very different because it's a
Tourists.
very hot spot for tourists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Balio, no, there's a lot of young people who have moved out. There's only a few like around our age, like between like 20 to I guess 50.
Few. They're like 2.
No lah, there's few more lah. We don't know of.
But bro, you can understand lah. If you're a young kid living there, most chances are you would go to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would, and I don't blame them lah. You know,
Understand.
you want to go and find better prospects. You want to go find more money, but a lot of them come back once they retire.
Sure. Family or whatever.
Mm.
But this is interesting. How about when you meet this young people around your age there? Are they like confused? What are you guys doing?
Yeah,
staying?
we just have a stare down. We're like,
They're like, you're staying here for 2 weeks.
why are you here?
You're getting paid 10K a day, is it? Or what? Yeah.
You're talking about like the people our generation
Yes.
who are at these
When
places.
when you're hang with them there or what?
We always ask. Like I always, if I see someone my age, I'll always like, hey, actually, what are you doing here?
But you know that they are local.
Yeah, we know they're local, but a lot of times it's become like either they're visiting back for holiday, or they are, and these are the smaller towns, are really super small towns, or they are they have a family business there. That's normally the case. But in the bigger small towns like Temerloh, Kuala Pilah, there are businesses there, so young folk can work there.
Okay. It's like you said, either for like family business or it's just a visit, short visit like that. Okay. These small town people, like, do they tell you like what are some of the challenges like they face?
A lot of times it's
Keeping the young people there, because a lot of these small towns, they don't have the same economic prospects as the larger towns. So
They really want them to stay.
because they have suggested that if something can be started there that would bring in
More people.
or more economic
Just anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to keep the young people there, then
What
maybe
what I think also there's going to be a shift maybe in the next 10 years. A lot of work is becoming more remote with AI and all of that.
Yeah.
So hopefully people move back to their hometowns and work from there because life is cheaper, life is better most of the time. I won't say all, but maybe some people move back. And hopefully also young...
Maybe like you said not in their 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe in
50.
late 40s, 50s like that they would. Because as a young person, it's very hard to convince, I guess.
For me, because I grew up in a small town, right?
Yeah.
I feel that since moving back, my life is a lot better. Like, although, okay I'm cheating because it's only 45 minutes away.
It's 100%. And
Yeah.
also, what type of... How big is your small town? It's not 700 population small, right?
Yeah, it's about...
It's 10,000.
Yeah, about 10,000.
It's different Barrio is a whole different world.
But honestly, if there were a possibility for me to work from Barrio or from Tioman, I would. Actually, we have done that before.
You all do that, right?
Yeah, so when we were in Barrio, we were working from there. Yeah. We were doing our editing, we were doing our meetings with clients, and most of things are online now.
Okay, yeah.
So I guess it's also changing that mindset of the younger generation who have moved away from the town to maybe, hey, why don't you try moving back for a little while?
Bro, that's why I feel like you guys are really living the life, bro. Because your work can be, apart from doing having meetings with perhaps clients in the cities, right? You all actually have a sort of freedom to stay wherever. But I mean, not so super long, but you all can actually do that. Right?
Yeah, it's true. We are blessed with being able to do that. Extremely lucky to be able to do that. But I think with a bit of modification for a lot of people, it can be done. So let's say you want to visit a small town, right? You can say like, oh, I'm going to work from home for 2 weeks or 1 week, if that's a possibility. So you go to this town, you work from there for a little while, and then you come back. It's being willing to do it and wanting to do it, I
willing
guess.
and wanting, that's the key point.
Yeah. So do you think you could do what you're doing now in a small town?
If I wanted to, of course. No, I cannot. Sorry, I forgot. I can do this if I'm talking myself. You know what I mean? To get guests, most of them are in KL. And I'm really lucky that I'm in KL. You know, if I'm in a super small town, then I'm out of luck to do podcasts. You know, it's hard to get guests.
What if you travel to small towns?
Oh, to
and
interview.
Interview people, interesting people.
Hey,
in
bro,
small
that
towns.
would be that would be really fun. A lot of effort, right?
Yeah.
Which is what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's incentivized, it would be really, really cool to do that. Yeah. Okay, what do you guys do at Barrio, man? The 2 weeks there.
So at Auntie Drew and Uncle Joseph homestay, back then...
You all stayed there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we stayed there for 2 weeks. It was great. Amazing.
Did they have I'll assume they're 50, 60 old?
Thereabouts.
50s.
40s, 50s.
40s, 50s, yeah.
Kids have moved out?
They're all like adults working.
Young adults.
Moved out?
No, some of them, I think they have 3 boys or 4 boys.
I think 2 is out.
Yeah, 2 are out, 1 still staying with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what do you guys do, man?
They had like this deck on the upper level, so their house is 2 stories. So they had this deck on the upper level. So most of the time for me, I would be just chilling at that deck, just staring out at the view, because Barrio is a cool place. It's on the highlands. It's cool. You get like...
It's temperature about 20, right?
20,
yeah, it's very comfortable.
That's ideal for me, man.
Yeah, 20
Right.
degrees, perfect.
The area was shaded, and most of the days the sky was blue. I would bring my laptop, do my work there, and just watch the clouds pass by.
Yeah.
And the wind was constantly blowing, so there's a lot of paddy fields, and you see the wind just blowing, undulating through the paddy and all that. It's like a magnificent view.
So the thing for me at least, I have a routine, a daily routine.
Yeah.
So I wake up, I about 6 a.m. every day.
Mm.
I go do my toilet things, and then I do my work. Maybe I do a little bit of exploring the town. Then after that, I would have lunch, have an afternoon nap, and then have dinner. So you can do this schedule anywhere, kan?
Yeah.
If you have a daily schedule, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it in
if you have your
Bali,
computer, you can do things anywhere.
yeah, and most people are working on their computers.
Of course.
Yeah.
But do y'all like? Is it a common thing to have like data coverage issues in small towns? No, right?
Depends. Like if you're going into like really
Jungle
then
is
yeah, you have
different.
issues. But coverage issues, I would say 85% of the time we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe
Because-
just a bit weak signal, does it?
Yeah.
It depends on the telco provider lah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
you guys are?
Celcom DG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, did y'all switch to Celcom after y'all work with them?
No, I
Or you
always
already
have a
with
Celcom
Celcom?
line.
Huh?
So I have two phones. One is another telco provider that spotty once in a while. I'm not
Spotty?
gonna
What's Spotty?
spotty. It certain
Oh.
places ada, certain places tak ada. Kosong. But so far, and I'm not being paid to say this lah, but I have another phone that's Celcom on purpose because I know if I go Sabah Sarawak, go into the interior, sure got line.
Okay.
Yeah. So even once when we were taking the helicopter to Pensiangan, right? Not Pensiangan, sorry, Longkogungan. We landed and the helicopter pilot also, his radio wasn't working, his phone wasn't working. He couldn't reach the base, so he couldn't reach KKIA to say that I'm flying back. So he had to relay that information. So he had to use my phone, Celcom DG line, to get connected.
Thank God for Celcom.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
would say the most reliable all around lah.
All
Coverage.
round coverage, yes, I have to give them that
Okay.
lah.
Yeah. lah.
You
They
also
have-
Celcom?
No, I'm a different provider.
You mobile?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, so far, I do not have bad experience with that telco. I mean, yeah, there are some places where it's just weak. Every telco has their like strong zones and weak
Yeah,
zones.
true, very true.
So, but so far, I've been okay with U Mobile. Where U Mobile does not have signals, the Celcom DG line will have signal.
Yeah, so for me, it's like Celcom DG has a moderately good, maybe about a 7 out of 10 reception everywhere. For U Mobile, it's either a 9 or a 10 or 0.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's the case. It's either good or shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to understand a bit more about the mindset of the small town people, dude. Is it a lot of them, right? Or do you find many of them that have actually never left?
Actually, no. Like, let's say our parents' generation, yeah, maybe they are that like that. But a lot of the younger people, they go and they come back. They go and they come back.
You mean go to probably the next big town or something?
Either next big town or work in the city, or if you're staying close enough to the city, like KL,
Yeah.
they
Of
make
course,
that commute, you know.
Yeah, but like let's say really really small towns, right? There's gonna be some of them that have never left. Like you talk to them, are they like not interested in leaving or like they're very just content lah with just staying there?
Some of them are.
Okay.
Some of them are. Some of them, I have a friend in Barrio. He's not planning to leave.
But where did he do his studies in Barrio? Or
He
I'm
did it
not-
in Miri.
Maybe I think, but he moved back, and now he's about our age, in our 30s, kan. And he's
okay. He's studied in Miri. That's also a bigger town, already much bigger. Yeah, bro. Do you have any idea? Like when you tell me you all stay in the aunties, sorry, I forgot what's her name lah in Barrio.
Anji Chu, yeah.
Do y'all ask or have any idea how much their property would cost?
It's
You no idea, right?
when
Maybe there's no cost, they just build it themselves, and no one will ever buy it. I mean, it's gonna be in their family bloodline lah. That's all.
depends. Like
I'm
Barrio,
interested to know that shit.
Barrio is special because like the land there is owned by the Kalabit people. so they can do whatever they want with it's their land.
Who are these Kelabit people?
The people who stay in Bario, they are the natives there.
So everyone that you all see are actually all Kelabit.
Primarily, yeah.
Mostly there's also Penan people. There's an army base there, so there's also like Iban people, Malay people, Chinese also. There's one or two, right?
Yeah.
The doctor is a Chinese.
The doctor's Chinese.
Yeah.
Do people know that you are Chinese?
Now
Now that you're tan,
now they look at me. I guess they can still see. I guess my eyes betray me.
your eyes not that small, bro. Yeah, not that small.
But it's not really that apparent that I'm not Chinese. So most people can pick up that I have Chinese blood somehow.
You sound.
It has a sound, right? So but most of the time when we go to small towns, they would think that I am one of the locals, maybe like Malay or just mix something like that.
Kelabit, so they speak Malay also, or they have their own dialect also.
They have Kelabit. It's their own
Yeah,
language.
the Bahasa
but-
Kelabit.
So most of these small towns, right? Has communicating ever been a problem? I mean, as long as you all speak okay Malay and English, there shouldn't be any problems, right?
No problem. There are some towns where it is a problem. Unfortunately, these are the more Chinese towns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're banana.
Banana, bro.
Oh, serious?
Banana coconut, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, are you mixed? You're Indian
I'm-
mixed Chinese.
Chindian as well.
Oh, so banana also.
Banana
We
and
speak
coconut.
English and BM.
Yeah. No, I wanted to say also. Yeah, it's probably the Chinese towns.
Yeah.
that you have trouble.
But they also try. Like there would be one or two of them, like from the older generation, who cannot speak
Speak Malay
Malay
also,
at all
yeah.
because they are not. They just stay in that town, right?
Yeah, probably
So-
they weren't fully educated also.
Yeah. But most of them, especially the people who are working, or if they have a small restaurant or kedai uncet, they usually can speak in Malay.
Yeah, just basic communication to trade. Yeah. Hey, do y'all go camping, right?
Yeah, once in a while.
Tell me about that, man. Like y'all actually stay legit in the forest, or we call it jungle in Malaysia. Sorry.
If where we are demands that we need to camp, sure, I will do it. But
For
we-
leisure, just straight up.
I think it's more on Ash's speed. It's not my speed.
He
Yeah.
doesn't like camping.
What do you like about camping?
I like that you're not connected lah. Like
Completely, right?
the problem with camping also, I realize it's a little bit time consuming as well. So like you have to get to the place, then you want to spend at least 2 or 3 days in the jungle, right? Just chillaxing. So can't do it all the time. But if I did have the time, it's basically if I can fish and camp, it's great.
Wow, fish and camp. Bro.
Yeah.
Fish camp and you cook the fish.
Yeah. But of course, I'll bring my own supplies.
Yeah,
also,
I wanted to say there's levels to camping lah. You
Yeah.
know, do you all build your own camp or
No, I bring a tent. I bring
build
a
your own
tent.
fire?
Fire, yeah lah. I mean,
How do you make a fire? Tell me, bro.
With sticks.
Sticks and a lighter. Is it?
if there's a lighter, yeah.
If there's lighter, great. But
No lighter, you know how to make.
No lighter can be done, but I wouldn't.
Have you done it?
I know how to do it. I have done it
Have you
in
done it?
practice, but I wouldn't want to do it all the time because it's very time consuming. It's very
Okay, tell me how do you do it, man?
so basically you need dry
sticks.
sticks. You
Stick or leaves?
yeah. Then you need usually we use a log, and then we use another piece of wood. Then we have like kindling. So basically you find fine
A rock, is it? Those?
no
Those really fine
wood.
grass, or
Yeah,
you
fine
shave the
wood
wood
shavings.
shavings.
Yeah, so it's dry and it's halus.
Yeah.
So that halus thing catches fire really quickly. So you have to
You
use
need-
Through friction.
Through friction,
But you need
it-
the arm
it was
strength.
better. You need arm strength. It takes really long. So
Like endurance.
yeah. So now I have a knife that has a flint at the back of it. So I just
Yeah.
I just scrape a little bit off, and then I just use the
Spark it,
flint spark. It catches on
Yeah.
fire.
Okay, so if you are doing it the real manual way, right,
Yeah.
and you use friction, that one will take like half an hour. Like that.
If you're good,
If you're good, half an hour. If you're orang asif, 5 minutes.
yeah.
But maybe if you're like
if you're like me, it's going to take half an hour or maybe more.
Yeah,
more,
and
yeah.
your
And
arms will be fucked, man.
most of
after
the
that.
time we are camping. I'm camping near a river, or it's going to be wet. Most things are going to be wet, so it's going to be a pain in the ass to try to set up your own things lah.
You went before just both of your camping.
Just both of us, no.
Call some other buddies.
Yeah. Either it's me on my own or with a few other friends, but John will not voluntarily go camping.
Why, John?
I,
You've tried it and it's enough, like that, is it?
I like my amenities. I like my clean toilet. I like
Oh shit, bro! Like you all are not camping at the places where there's, what do they call it, glamping?
we have done glamping before, yeah.
Glamping is not camping lah.
Yeah, but it's not
It's not.
camping. It's
So
nice, but it's not camping.
so the camping that you guys do, literally you all take a dump in the river.
No, you're not actually not your advice not to dump in the river.
Just dump in anywhere other than the river.
Dig a hole.
Dig a
Dig
hole.
a hole.
Find a secluded area.
Cover some put some leaves on top of it after that.
Yeah. Dig hole.
Dig deep enough, and then
Dig
like,
deep enough. Do your business. If you have tissue or water, wash it all into the hole.
Then
Cover it
bury
with belly, then bury.
Nice.
Down.
yeah, we've done that before. It's an experience,
Yeah.
not one I'm looking to repeat.
Yeah.
but yeah.
So this is another fucked up thing to think about. There's over here in the city we got bidets and tissues all. Yeah. There, what do you all use? Just dry leaves.
Wet wipes.
Oh, you bring that shit lah, of course.
Yeah, I mean like we know what we need, so we bring.
Yeah, so 90% of camping is being prepared lah.
Yeah. You have to,
I mean,
bro.
yes, we do have the knowledge to, like you say, start fire, the old manual. Yes, we
Yeah,
have the
right.
knowledge, but
Why?
Yeah, why? I mean, the truth is, right, we are modernized humans that wants to enjoy.
I feel a lot of people who do this, outdoor camping thing, do it all manually, shit in a hole on purpose, and only use leaf to wipe your ass. They have an issue. They have like an ego issue. I don't want to insult
Yes,
anyone,
yeah.
but they're like, oh, I want to show that I can do this.
I mean, it's really impressive that
It's
you
impressive, it's great. But you stick to your own lane and don't look down on other people lah.
Earlier, I was talking to you about this dude, right? Paul Rosalie. So he's pretty famous right now. What he does is he stays in the, I think in his early 20s, he went into the Amazon jungle, right? And then he got into conservatism world. What he does is they protect the river. To how he does it, I can't remember the exact details, but the type of shit that he posts right on his Instagram is quite crazy. So he posts when he's sleeping at night, right, in a tent. There's insects all over, bro. Everywhere, insects everywhere. For him, right, getting bit by a bullet ant. You know, it's a bullet ant, right?
Yeah.
There was this famous documentation of a tribe where they have you seen that before?
Yeah.
They wear a glove of bullet ants,
And they all sting.
yes,
Yeah.
they sting, and this is like their, how do I say it?
right
It's
to
like
manhood kind of thing.
yes,
Yeah.
it's how they embrace manhood or what, to show that you're a man. You get stung by the bullet ants, I don't know, 1,000 times or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyways, right, for him, right, he's been there for so long. Bullet ants, it's like they can go to sleep with it. There's no pain because you're so accustomed to that. You're walking barefoot everywhere, and your feet is really calloused up, really thick calluses.
Yeah.
One of the crazier things that he's apart from catching crazy anacondas, 18-foot, 20-foot anacondas, all apart from that, right, he's had contact with what they call the uncontacted tribes. Okay, so these uncontacted tribes, they are people who they've been there for thousands of years, right? The last contact they've had with humans, so we're talking about the Amazon jungle, which is in South America. The last contact they've had with these tribes that have had with outside other humans, right, was when the Western colonizers, I think America or UK, they came over, and obviously they would, I don't know what they did to them, kill them, force them, take them as slaves or whatever. So they still have that mindset, So they haven't seen people for hundreds of years. They keep in their vicinity.
On tribe,
Yeah. So there's a couple of incidents where a more popular one is this pastor, a missionary. He went to the island, and they already have a rough idea where they are. They don't touch them. They don't go near them because they know that they are very hostile. Okay,
They don't want to be contacted.
They don't want to be contacted. You can say they don't want to be contacted, but the truth is they're scared lah. Okay, it's not that they don't like to be friends with people. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Yeah, sure, but it's survival lah, bro. You think a fucking colonizer's gonna come and make you slaves, like your great grandparents were, some shit like that. So this pastor, missionary lah, he went over there. He wants to obviously spread the word of Jesus Christ. Try to be cordial with them, bring some fruits or whatever, show up. He walked closer to them, and they just shot their bow and arrows at him lah. Okay, and the arrows that they use, right, are 7 foot long arrows, bro. It's crazy shit, man. So I was looking at this guy. I listened to him on the podcast, and I was listening to him talk about all these stories. One day, right, he posted on his story. They were sitting on a boat, right, and he has a friend sitting behind him. And the friend is like, his face is like so dead like that. He's still alive lah. There was a 6 foot arrow in his, just boom, right in between his, I don't know, his stomach, like that, just in between him, and he's just like there, like, oh, I'm fucked, bro. Yeah. So those are some really crazy shit lah. Yeah, I find that fascinating lah.
It is fascinating lah. Like I adore like people who do this kind of work with native people. Like we have Digital Dome, right?
Digital Dome. Yeah.
Digital Dome. He's a creator. He's on
Malaysia?
IG. Yeah, in Malaysia. Yeah. He's living in Orang Asli village currently. And he's documenting their lives.
He's an urban brought
I'm
up.
not sure. I only get his content like showing.
Orang Asli.
I'm gonna follow this.
Yeah,
I
later.
see what's up.
He's you should interview him.
Yeah,
He's a very interesting guy.
I've actually had wildlife conservationists on the podcast before. I think this was just a few episodes before the first one we did, right? So he worked with the tigers, Malayan tigers, and orangutans, and I think elephants, if I'm not mistaken. But you know what's so funny, right, bro? Because he worked with tigers for, I can't remember, 2-3 years or something like that, right? Then I asked him like, how many tigers have you seen? You guess, bro.
0.
Yeah, 0. You only seen the footprints, but they are there lah. He knows they are there.
Yeah.
I think if you do see a tiger in the wild, you probably won't make it.
Yeah, he won't to tell the story, right? Yeah. But yeah, he is these like tigers, apex predators or whatever, right? If they're not hungry, right, they're gonna want to be left alone.
Yeah.
They probably have better stealth skills than you, so they already know that you're there. They just stay away lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know you're coming, and they're probably watching you.
Yeah. So they have not only footprints, they put camera traps. Right? It's not camera traps, just cameras. Okay, so cameras, that's how they see the tigers.
Yeah.
But I asked him, like, how do people count, like how many tigers they have, or how many orangutans or whatever.
Yeah.
You know how they count them? Like, literally it's just the human eye. And if you're lucky, you can put a tracker on it, or you might not. So it's all just rough ideas.
Rough estimation.
Yeah. I think I forgot how many tigers there are in Malaysia left.
100 something, I think.
It's not much,
Yeah,
bro.
it's not much. Yeah.
There's probably 100 sighted lah. There might be more.
I think there's less.
Yeah.
I really think it's a big issue lah, because
but I think I saw, I don't know, maybe last year or something, a tiger was some dude banged the tiger on the road.
Yeah.
Lorry or something.
Yeah. It's terrible lah. The population is so small, and then you also have poaching and deforestation. There's so many issues that these animals are up against lah.
Yeah. Poaching for tiger fur, tiger coat. When you guys go camping or what, right?
Yeah.
Any crazy animals that you all see? Not crazy, but exotic.
I mean, there'll be the occasional orangutan, depending on where we are.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
so we were on a boat in Nangasumpa, Sarawak, and we were staying in a long house.
Yeah.
So we were just on a boat. We were going to a waterfall, and it's wild orangutan just sitting up on a tree.
Not just one.
There was a male and a female, right?
Yeah, male,
There was a
female.
male and a female. Male one climbed all the way to the top, and he started breaking off the branches and started throwing it at us.
Why?
They wanted us to get out of there.
Yeah, I think don't like us. Who would?
It's not scary, it is. Right?
We were on a boat, so we
Oh
knew.
no, sorry.
We were on a small sampan, and the tree was on the other side of the river, so we were safe. But we just stopped for a little while, took some pictures, and we left.
Okay.
Lah.
Other than that, anything else?
We once almost we were on a buggy on a golf course. The golf course goes through. This was in Tioman lah. Goes through a jungle, and it comes out the other side. So it's a golf course here, golf course there, jungle in the middle, road going through. So as we were going,
From one to the other
from
side.
one to the other side, it's this huge log just sitting on the road, on the track lah. Basically, it's a cement part. And I stopped the buggy, and the log just stands up and looks at us like that. It's
crocodile.
that high. No, it's a snake. It's a king cobra.
Oh damn!
Like, it's that high. So we are sitting and it can look at us eye to eye, you know.
Did you take a video?
No, we were just like, stop there. Don't move.
Because you all were frozen now, basically.
First time we didn't, our cameras were in the back, so we were just going to the other side, right?
Okay, how big was it, bro?
Bro, like, it was on the ground.
Yeah.
We were seated in the buggy, and it stood up and met us at eye level.
Yeah, that's how big it was. So I'm guessing at least
8 feet.
3 meters.
Okay, 10 feet. Wait, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Yeah, and king cobras don't get anywhere as big as an anaconda, so that was probably a really big one.
That was a
already.
really big one. But yeah, I think the biggest is about 5 meters or something, right? I'm not sure. 4 or 5 meters. This is a big guy. It's about that thick.
The head, how thick was it?
Hit about that lah, like that.
Yeah,
So he was just there, like that, like my hand size.
yeah. Damn.
He was just there, like maybe a meter or two away lah, a meter and a half away.
So-
Just staring at the buggy.
What do you think he's thinking or saying
It's
to
like,
you all?
you know, I can kill you if I wanted to lah.
Yeah.
If you run me over, I'll die, but I also kill both of you.
Okay. The whoever you all were with, is it some of the locals?
No, it was just me and him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just me and
Yeah.
him.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was driving the buggy. He was beside me. The thing just, King Cobra just stood up and looked at us. I think it was like maybe a 10-second, 30-second
Stare.
Felt
stare.
longer.
Felt longer lah. Felt like we were there forever.
So what do you all say to each other what was the first thing you all say?
We were just quiet. We were just quiet.
You didn't even say anything.
No, I didn't say anything. We
Because you're
just said-
scared.
No, it's just
lah,
like
we just know to be quiet.
you have this apex predator right in
Yeah.
front of you.
What do you want to say?
Say fuck lah. Right.
Just say like,
Or the words can't come out.
No, it's just like it's impressive lah. Like this creature. You at that time you haven't seen something.
No, it
that
is
big,
impressive.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. But was there fear?
I mean, yeah, lah, of course.
there was fear lah. There's always fear, but it was not like panic, you know.
Okay.
So I feel like if you panic, then you do shit lah. So
Yeah.
we just like stayed calm. The fleur looked at us, and after that he just went on his way.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all waited it out.
Yeah,
Waited it
waited it
Yeah.
out.
It's sort of like a dog. If you run from a dog, he might chase you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just ignore it and be unbothered, then he can't be. He like don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like same thing with most animals lah. Like
Mm.
with dogs also. It's if you panic, you're gonna make any situation worse. You just like stay calm.
Yeah, bro. The dude, the Paul Rosalie guy that stays in the Amazon, he talks about he doesn't fear staying like having jaguars in the vicinity at all because they can kill you, of course, but you are not in their food chain, So that's the reason why he feels sort of not afraid lah to be around all these. Obviously, and also most anacondas,
Yeah.
right? Anacondas get they go up to more than 20 feet lah. Okay.
Yeah.
Biggest caught is I think 20 feet, but sighted ones 25, 30, right? But for the most part, most of them, you are also not in their food chain. Obviously, if it's 18 feet, 20 feet, you are in their food chain.
Yeah.
But also, they would probably choose to feed on something that they are already accustomed with. You know, like a small calf or whatever. Yeah. So it's
Capybaras.
capybaras, the most friendly animals. They don't have that in Malaysia.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, there's I think there's a capybara cafe. Is it?
There is
In captivity, like zoos, you can see them, but we don't have them
Zoo
in the
Negara
wild.
has
I went to a petting cafe. This was in Seri Kembangan. Forgot what's the name of it, but they had a llama. They had a like, dude, yeah, imagine here we're eating, right, and the llama's head is just there. It's
Yeah.
they just want food, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what else? They got a skunk. There was some piglets running around.
Uh,
Rabbits, goats, maybe a kid like that.
mm.
I saw the fattest skunk, bro. It's just like, what the fuck? Super fat like that.
Cute, man.
But that's my idea of a good time, bro. I love. I wish they had more petting cafes like that. You know, I'm sure you guys would enjoy shit like that too.
To be very fair, I'm not a big fan of petting cafes
Yeah.
because I go to a cafe, I like the whole ambience or not, but when you add the whole petting element to it, there's this scent of animals and what. No matter how clean they keep it, you know,
okay.
is the cafe either smells like bleach or like the animal.
It does smell like the animal, lah. You know what's fucked up, bro? They were selling these jerkies, right?
Yeah,
Bakwa. It's bakwa.
Yeah, bakwa.
Okay?
rabbit bakwa.
And I'm thinking like, no, is bakwa, and you're supposed to feed the I don't know what animals. Then I'm thinking,
You're feeding
What if
animal to.
what if I feed the piglet? Then the guy was telling me like, no, he's vegetarian. But yeah,
But
fucked up, lah.
it's I mean, yeah, it is, but it's kind of like farmers feeding chicken eggs
Yeah.
Oh, do they do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of them do.
Why?
because
Just
it's-
nutritious.
nutrition.
It is lah, but
Wait,
according to what I know,
Yeah.
if a chicken tastes egg,
they like
they like it, and then they will eat their own eggs. So that's what I know. I've had chickens before in my kampung, but I've never come across this.
I had chickens when I was young, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the I was staying here also around this area,
Mm.
another house, but
Mm.
we had a couple of chickens, man. Yeah, they.
Best pets, right? Delicious, produce eggs.
We didn't eat them lah. We ate the eggs. Yeah. It's every day, man. They will lay one egg every day like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, feed
Yeah.
them enough and they'll never stop laying.
Yeah, but
It's funny, you know, because I think chickens were made to be domesticated. Like chickens started out as red jungle fowl, right? In around this region, Southeast Asia. So chickens are actually originally, according to what I've read, from this region of the world.
really,
Yes, the red
Okay.
jungle fowl. You still see them around, by the way. There's it's not kampung chickens. It's
Wild
ayam
chicken.
ayam hutan lah, the wild jungle chickens, the jungle fowls lah. So the
have you
crazy
seen wild chickens?
yeah, I
we
have.
have, yeah.
They have this like white color spot on their ear. That's how you know.
So how? But it's because of that specific breed,
yeah, so they would so chickens usually lay a clutch of eggs like I think once every half year or something like that.
Yeah.
But every 7 years or something like that, bamboo would overseed the place and chickens would basically lay eggs every day. So it's a quirk in their DNA that if you overfeed a chicken, a female hen, it will lay an egg every day. If not, it doesn't do that. So if you domesticate the chicken and you feed it every day, it's gonna lay an egg every day.
Which is what people do.
Yeah, which is what people want to do.
Okay, but obviously, if the chicken doesn't mate with another chicken, the eggs will have no young.
Yeah,
inside,
no young. But it still lay the egg. It's still gonna. It cannot hatch. It's not fertilized.
It's quite it's quite fascinating if you think about it. How it forms as a
Yeah.
yeah, and you can lay that every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed in a Airbnb last time in Australia with my family. It's a farm. It's those farm Airbnb. They want to give you all the farm experience.
Yeah.
So there's a sheep where we have to feed in the mornings, and they've got a chicken coop. You just go inside a chicken coop and you collect the egg. Yeah, and then you eat the egg. So there's a few eggs like that.
Did you enjoy it?
Of course, but obviously that is not the real farm
Farming,
experience.
yeah.
Oh, but what was cool? I love dogs. A border collie. You guys know what that is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Border collie, which is the most stereotypical sheepdog,
Yeah.
black and white. They
Super
are
energetic.
the most. Sorry.
Super energetic, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the most intelligent dog.
Mm.
This is from what I read lah. They most again most websites rate it the most intelligent dog lah. Yeah, but I could see the dog, just one dog herding 100 over sheep like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to see all that shit lah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like dogs are amazing. I have 6.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I have 6 dogs.
No. So now the question is, who's gonna take care of them while you're not there?
So I I stay in my kampung, my granddad's house basically. My granddad's there, and also my cousin moved in there to take care of my granddad. So I support them with finances and whatever not. My cousin
They
takes
babysit
care-
your dogs.
Yeah, my cousin takes care of the dogs and my granddad. It's not my dogs, it's like everyone's dogs lah.
Are they okay? What breed lah? Is it Paria,
It's,
Kampung?
Kampung, mongrels. Like
Okay.
the kind you find in the street,
Yeah, yeah,
in the longkang.
yeah.
So I call them longkang dogs. Like, all of them are rescues. So
Oh, all rescues.
all rescues, we don't buy. I don't buy.
Any blood related ones?
I don't think so lah.
What do you
Okay.
mean by blood related?
Yeah,
Like,
like breed dogs.
They breed lah, or sisters, brothers.
Oh no.
We usually rescue like one at a time.
So people often would say that if it's a mongrel compared to those what do you call those breeds?
Pedigree.
Pedigree breeds or whatever.
Yeah.
That the one is more street smart, and then the other one is not as street smart. But it really just depends, man. If you have a mongrel that was born in the house
Yeah.
and was growing up with let's say you got a Shih Tzu or whatever,
Yeah.
he's also gonna have to adopt the same personality, that sort, right?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
dogs are a bit spoiled lah.
Of
So
course
they,
lah.
they wouldn't be able to survive without food given to them. Maybe only Mango can. We have a dog called Mango, and she hunts rats and she eats
For fun,
for fun. Yeah, for fun, and
Yeah.
she eats the rats and she eats. If there's a chicken that flew into her house, our neighbor's chicken, and she started pulling its feathers out.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's a normal
some of
thing.
them
lah.
can do it. Like most of my dogs are not. They're quite hopeless lah.
I think maybe for cats it's a bit different. It's probably they are more instinctual. They have a better ability to hunt. So there was this stat, right? They said that in the States alone, every year, 1 billion what do you call it? 1 billion mouse
Mice.
or
Yeah.
or birds or whatever.
Yeah.
1 billion preys lah. Okay, that domestic cats kill
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
So it's like one cat every year they'll kill, I don't know, 10, 20, 50 like that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just compared to dogs, they're probably not as
Eco-friendly.
they're not as good as dogs are not as good as hunting lah. Yeah, not in their instincts lah.
They are more dependent on humans.
Dogs are,
Yeah, they
of
are.
course.
Cats are more independent creatures, but
I have cats and dogs lah. I have to say.
Oh, you got both also.
Yeah, I got both.
Yeah.
They're fine with each other, but I'd have to say dogs are like an extension of yourself. Like, I feel like dogs, if whatever you put in is what you get out. But with cats, no matter how much you put in, well, the cat is gonna be a cat.
So
It's not
yeah,
gonna
yes.
change much.
Yeah, the dog is you can teach him a lot of things
Yeah.
and mold him in a lot of ways as compared to a cat.
Yeah.
They have their own personality.
Yeah, dogs also all have their own personalities, but they are more malleable. That's the word, right? Like
Easy to train.
You can train them. They understand you. You understand. There's a connection there.
You know when you talk to people who don't like animals, right? And last time I had a husky also. I like to tell people like, oh, he's like has the brain of, it's like a 6-year-old kid like that, a young 6-year-old kid. And people who don't have dogs never owned a dog, or maybe they own a dog and they never bonded with them. What, right?
Yeah.
Some people, they just think you're stupid or crazy for
Yeah,
saying stuff like that.
A lot of people who don't understand it will think you are Dilulu.
Bro, they don't understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but they don't know what your words. I mean, they don't know how to speak, but they understand.
They understand. They
Yeah.
understand too much.
but like, I mean, no offense to anyone with kids out there, but I feel like some dogs are actually smarter than your 10-year-old kid.
Bro, bro, I worked in childcare, right? Okay, so I looked after kids from 10 months to 5-year-old. And one thing I realized the babies. So when I'm teaching the 8 to 18-month-year-old kids like that, right? They don't talk or anything, but they understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I only realized that after working with them.
Yeah.
Realized that you just tell them like, oh wait, the food is coming soon or whatever, then they understand.
Yeah.
But whereas before that, before I actually spent time with them, right, I just think that, oh, they just don't know, until they can talk and tell and show you that they understand,
Just because we don't remember it doesn't mean,
Yeah.
like, kids are smart.
Yeah, kids.
Dude, Okay, so some of the ask you about some of the small town businesses. Let's say a typical Kopitiam like that. Do you know how much they will be earning?
Oh, I have no idea lah.
Oh, you never asked all this stuff.
It's hard to.
I mean, it's quite
estimate.
quite a personal question. Also, we don't go around
asking how
how
much.
much you earn.
Unless they tell you.
But there are many of them who have been in business for like 3 generations, 4 generations. So it cannot be no money. And a lot of them are also sending their kids to like overseas to study.
Yeah, or even the city is also.
In the city. And I think it's also sad that the kids, after they go to the city and study or go overseas and study, they come back, they don't want to do that job anymore. They don't want to run the Kopitiam.
Yeah, like bro, remember I was telling you, did I pass you guys the Kompiang last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, right?
Yeah.
So the Kompiang, this traditional fuchao bread, toasted bread, right? They toast it in the oven. That one also, right? So there's a couple in Tioman. There's a couple of shops that sell it. The one that I gave you guys is my favorite, and the one that all my relatives also always get is one of the more popular ones. They went through I don't know how many generations, and the last person that was running it, he just passed away, and it's done now. So they just really close up. I still have some Kompiang now, but I can let you guys have some, but it's not as good lah. That's what I want to say. Yeah. So the culture, the tradition died like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad. And
There are a lot of these things in Malaysia. They are called intangible heritage, because once they are done and gone, that's it. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. And I think last Raya, I just learned how to make anyam the ketupat.
Yeah.
And I realized a lot of the family, even the generation above us, so that means the Gen X and boomers, right? They also don't know how. It's only like the old generations and maybe 1 or 2. And our generation, like there was no one who knew how to do it. And like it's a Malay community, and I'm starting to realize that, this thing is also gonna maybe die out,
It's like it's a food, right?
Yeah.
But as in, it has been living. You know what I mean? It has. Yeah. It will die lah.
It will die.
Yeah. You know what is what do we call it? Chinese, the love letter biscuit.
Yeah.
Kueh kapit
Kueh
lah.
kapit, yeah.
Yeah. I used to go to my grandma's house also, and then we would make it every year. We stopped because both even before both my grandparents passed away, we stopped the last few years.
Yeah.
But when am I gonna do that again?
I mean, if you look at the process of like kueh kapit, your hot charcoal fire, hot plate, and then you have to handle everything while it's hot.
Yeah.
It's quite a difficult process if you're not used to it also, and it takes I think a while to actually master that skill.
And this, we're talking about food, right? Food tradition. You know what else can die? Language.
Language can die.
I mean, I think right now it's dying with all the skibidi Sigma Ohio nonsense.
I don't even know. Is that English?
I hope so. I don't know.
Dude, we complain about the younger generation. We were the same, okay? You're millennial, right?
Yeah.
You're also
Yeah.
millennial, right? We were the
But
same, coming up with
we-
our own slangs.
We use slang like on fleek, which is in the dictionary. Skibidi is not in the dictionary.
Skibidi is going to be in the dictionary.
Yeah. No, you might be right, bro. Yeah.
So
But yeah.
it's how we felt about Gen X and boomers complaining about us. I think the Gen Zs feel the same way about us complaining about them.
I don't see much of that because, I guess I don't interact with Gen Zs or what's it called, Alpha?
Gen Alpha.
Yeah, Gen Alpha much. The closest I have is my nephew.
Yeah, I think exposure to the internet and social media is maturing a lot of kids a lot faster.
Yeah.
They're throwing out words that we normally hear like much later in life only.
I noticed it through myself, right? Because I played a lot of computer games when I was young. Do you guys do that as well?
Yeah, when we were younger.
So I played online especially online computer games. I played a lot of Ragnarok. Ragnarok is a role-playing multiplayer online game, right? I was 7 years old playing that, and I was hanging out with 22, 23-year-old people around that age. And I did notice that I matured a bit faster because I was talking to all these people.
Yeah.
The language and
Just interacting with these people. I mean, I'm 7 year old, so I did feel that way. Yeah.
Yeah. It is like, and I think now TikTok and IG and the internet is just making it easier and more accessible to all this information.
Definitely, bro.
But also, I don't know about you lah, but I think sometimes PC culture is a bit too
You mean woke?
woke culture lah.
I think in Malaysia there is no woke culture.
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God lah.
Thank God
Yeah.
lah.
But apparently the woke culture thing is also dying off.
Yeah, I won't say go full on like woke culture die lah, but there is some importance there to be a little bit woke. But if you take it to the extreme end where you are over censoring people, then you are the same. You just made one full circle, you know?
In Malaysia,
You're becoming a fascist woke person. Woke fascism.
in Malaysia there's there's no woke culture, but people get super sensitive about racial stuff lah. Super sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah, like at the Kopitiam we were at a few days back, right?
Yeah. Do these people talk, like the Kampung people? Do they talk to you all about racism or any stuff?
They
like
make racist jokes.
okay,
they-
like
they-
normal people.
Yeah, like normal people, and they make fun of each other in front of them, but they don't do that thing. Oh, you know, this person did this. You know, they don't do that. They do like, hey, you Melayu macam ni, or you Cina macam ni.
Yeah.
In front of each other at the Kopitiam, and then they laugh about it.
Because you're at the Kopitiam, that's what you're supposed to do lah.
Yeah. And even sometimes like at communal spaces, third spaces. So I don't know if you know, but third spaces are this thing where you have your work, you have your home, and then you have a third space.
But is it a individual owned or public?
No, it's like
Public. It's
public,
where the
like
community comes together.
like
So
a library
the
or
third
a
space is a
kopitiam.
community space.
Yeah.
So these
Cafe.
kopitiams,
Anything.
the padang.
Oh, it's not just one shop lah. It's like there's a lot of
your
things.
third space can be anywhere, but
Anywhere
that's not
is-
work or home.
Yeah, it's not work or home that
Okay.
a community can get together.
So-
Can be a library.
So that's where people hang in their leisure town in the small kampungs.
Yeah.
Okay. Can they actually tell like first glance at you guys that you're not from around?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the time.
instantly.
Anywhere we go.
But how? I mean, actually, if you're dressed like that, probably.
Okay, let's say I'm dressed like Ash or so. They will know we're
you
not.
guys do look like urban kids.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
So that's how they tell lah.
Not only that, small towns kind of everyone knows everybody else.
Yeah. That immediately you're going to know like, oh, these guys are like not from here.
Yeah.
And
Like, let's say your three houses, this house, the next house, and even your front houses, but you know if there's someone who is outside of that
Yeah.
circle, right?
Yeah, someone's coming in.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
A
lah.
new face.
A new face.
And then it's like everywhere people
And-
have their way of talking. And then when we start talking, oh, you are not from here.
Yeah, and he is carrying a big camera and I'm flying a
Ah.
drone, so
Yeah.
they will know.
Do they get superstitious? Like tell your
Superstitious.
horror stories?
Oh,
or-
there's a
or-
lot of ghost stories.
They always is their thing.
I
mean,
need
if
to
we-
start a channel.
Tell me some lah, bro.
I mean, if you have the time, like sometimes we spend more time there than others, and then we sit down. Yeah, they do tell us about this story and that story.
Yeah, like some we've
Yeah.
experienced ourselves as
Yeah.
well.
Like what for example?
Okay, so going into this, I didn't believe in any of these things, lah. You know.
Yeah. That's how you start off
Yeah.
a good horror story.
Yeah. Start. So after all of this experience, I don't really believe, but there are some things we cannot explain, lah. So, the most recent one was Taman Negara. Yeah.
Taman Negara. That's
Yeah.
in
Pahang.
Pahang, right?
Bahang. So Taman Negara, I decided to go on a hike at about 4 p.m. in the evening alone, which is not recommended. It's not a smart thing to do.
But you're within the boundaries of visitors, is it?
Yeah, I am in the part, but
Yeah.
they recommend that you go with someone else.
Okay,
Because in the part also there are elephants, there are tigers,
Wild animals.
there's wild
Which-
animals.
there's no cage or any. I mean,
No
there's no fence or anything.
It's
Yeah.
the Taman Negara.
Do you
So-
see it? Do you like
We've seen elephants and all of that before.
how far apart?
Oh, okay. So this is not Taman Negara, Kinabatangan in Sabah. The elephant is literally
Outside your door.
Yeah, like maybe 5 meters away.
Yeah.
From your
Yeah.
house?
From the chalet. or?
From the chalet and from the track. So we were trekking through the jungle.
No, but
And-
but is it like the place you stay? You come out Like that?
Yeah. They were walking through.
Yeah.
That's fucking. You don't
Yeah.
need to go Africa, bro.
Yeah. But Asian elephants are different from African
Yeah,
elephants.
our elephants are mean.
No, like all elephants are
Why? What happened?
Um,
man?
They're
they're protective, they
territorial.
like,
and if they see you and you look them in the eye, they might squish you.
yeah. And you got to stand your ground lah. So that's the thing. If
Stand
they're
your ground.
Yeah, you like
if they're charging at you, even if you're going to get smushed, if
Just
you
stand there.
if you run, you are going to get smushed.
100%
If you
smush.
stand against them, you might get
50%
smushed.
smush.
So the chances are better lah.
You know that thing that people say, right? How do you outrun a rhino or a bear? You zigzag like that. That shit doesn't work.
No, you trick
know what
the
I mean?
person behind you.
Huh?
Yeah, it's like you just have to be faster
Then
than the next,
the next person.
They say like if you zig and zag, it takes time for them to shift directions. They can't keep up. So
How do you zigzag in a jungle, bro?
It's just like they say if you come across a bear, you play dead.
I don't know about Western bears lah.
Dude, there's this story. There's one story. This a scout leader was with his troop of little boys or girls or whatever, and then they run into one bear. And then the scout leader's like, I'll show you guys, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play dead, and then the bear will leave me alone. The bear just ate him.
Yeah, that's, I mean, if your luck is not with you that day, you're going to
Yeah.
get eaten by a bear.
You have to accept that there are inherent risks in going to the jungles and wild places. So, yeah, we were in the jungles in
Kinabatangan.
Kinabatangan, and it was thick jungles. And suddenly our guide just says, stop. Don't say anything, just be quiet. Just, keep quiet. And like just about 5 meters away, between the bushes, there's this elephant just looking at us. If we continued, we would be in its path.
Were you all in a vehicle?
No, we were walking. We were trekking.
Do you say 5 meters?
5 meters, like that's how
So
thick
there
the
ah.
jungle. Yeah. About there lah. That
But there was a lot of trees.
there was a lot of trees, so we couldn't really see. It was in the bushes.
Dimly lit also. I mean, it was daytime, but because of the canopy coverage, it was dim.
Actually, that's what animals do, right? When they see, they can feel the presence of something around them.
Yeah.
First thing they will all do is also like what you guys do lah.
Yeah.
Stop,
Stop.
and then just see what's up. Okay,
Yeah.
so what was the elephant?
It
doing?
was with a baby. It was just crossing the path. So we just stopped. We looked at it. It saw us. We saw it. Just decided, okay, this is my part. I want to go this way. She just left.
Yeah. But bro, you see it with a baby. That's like it's even more scarier.
Yes,
right?
it's more scary.
Yeah.
It's,
Anything
Very
you all
protective.
you fuck up a little bit or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky there was like 4 or 5 of us lah.
Yeah.
So I think maybe if it was one of us, it would have been even worse.
Don't know. It depends because it's a national park, so
Yeah.
maybe it's not too foreign for them.
Yeah.
Seeing another human.
Yeah, it's not foreign for them to see humans.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But at the same time, you cannot predict what they're gonna do lah.
Yeah, and also they like you said are territorial.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't go in their space.
yeah. But one animal you don't fuck around with is crocodiles.
Where do you see the crocodiles?
Kinabatangan, in Kuala Selangor, in crocodiles are everywhere.
Dude,
man.
I saw a news headline just a few days ago, which is fucking stupid. This person in China or Thailand, do you all see that?
Yes, he
Yes.
jumped in.
He thought it was a crocodile statue.
Yeah.
Okay, the crocodile, it was at a zoo lah. Okay, and the crocodile so-called statue that he thought it was is literally in a crocodile pit
Yeah.
where they would cage a crocodile. Usually, the usual swamp like that, pit swamp, and. Yeah, he went there and wanted to take a picture, and the crocodile bit his leg off.
Yeah,
What
like
the fuck, dude?
50 stitches or something like that, right?
Yeah, but he's lucky, man.
He's
got
lucky
his,
to be
yeah.
alive.
yeah, he got to have his limbs.
Yeah.
So I have a friend who's American, from Florida, and they see alligators all the time.
Yeah,
Difference
Florida
between,
is that place, man.
difference between alligators and crocodiles is alligators will stop there, will wait there, and whatever passes by they'll eat. Crocodiles are different. Crocodiles, they'll see you at the bank and they'll come towards you slowly and take you down.
Or they'll sneak up on you.
They actively hunt. Crocodiles actively hunt.
So they're more aggressive than.
They're more aggressive, they're
But
more attentive.
They're bigger.
They're bigger.
Bro,
Okay, you know this Steve Irwin and all, you talk about
Sure.
crocodiles. The biggest crocodiles are in Australia, right?
I'm
Bro,
not sure about that, but okay.
Yeah, they're not. They're
They're not.
in Philippines and Sabah
Sabah.
Sarawak.
Oh, Sabah Sarawak.
Yeah, the
we have
biggest
some
crocodiles.
of the biggest.
Yeah.
What's the breed?
They're all saltwater crocodiles.
Saltwater crocodiles.
Saltwater are the biggest. So yeah, I mean Australia crocodiles are big, but the biggest ones are found in Philippines and Borneo.
Okay. Yeah. And you guys saw a lot of wild ones, or?
We saw a few lah. We've seen a few wild ones.
Okay, dude, there was this. I watched this documentary. Right, this dude that was. He stays in. It's deep in the forest area. I think this is Indonesia or Philippines. Deep in the forest area, and then along the house where he stays at, right, there's a river.
Yeah.
So one day a crocodile came to his house. I mean, he didn't ring his doorbell lah. He just showed up at the shore like that, the riverside, and it looked like he needed help lah. I forgot what happened. Don't know, he had a wound or a bullet or something lah. He was getting hunted or what. So the dude went there and he nursed the crocodile back to health lah. I don't know what he did, but he probably removed the bullet shell and whatever. That crocodile, after that, comes back every now and then.
Yeah.
And then there's the documentary I was watching. He's in the river with the crocodile, swimming and hugging the crocodile and always kissing the crocodile. You know,
Yeah, that's a silly man.
he's a silly man. But he also realized he has this like super special bond with the crocodile. How risky is it? He's probably very willing to accept those risks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's crazy.
I wouldn't trust them. Like, there's a reason why we have like an innate fear of them. I would dive with sharks.
They're dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're not dogs or mammals. You know?
Yeah.
It's different now, bro.
I would dive with sharks, but I would not dive with a crocodile.
So we talked a bit about this last time. You guys dive a lot, right?
Yeah.
What are the things that people should be afraid of when diving?
Triggerfish.
Triggerfish, yeah.
What is a triggerfish again? The
Ikan
the-
ayam, I think.
It's the nastiest fish in the ocean.
triggerfish is not the pufferfish.
No.
No.
It's
The dog, the one that looks like a
No, it looks like a diamond shape. It has a like
a beak.
yeah, it has
Yeah,
a
hey,
beak.
Vishnu, can you pass me my phone?
A lot of different people. I would recommend if you can come lah for these
Bro,
things.
I want to, man. I really want to.
Yeah.
Where do you have in mind?
So either you come to Barrio or Tioman. Tioman is easier.
Of course, it's easier. I remember I have a buddy there.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to his center?
Yeah, I've been to his center, but I didn't get to talk to him.
Okay, Aman
Yeah.
Tioman. No?
Yeah, Aman Tioman.
What do you think about his center? It's okay, I won't tell him.
Very, very nice.
Nice,
Actually, the dive industry, people tend to, I don't know lah. Sometimes they all fight with each other and think every industry is like that.
Whenever you are, I guess a confined area where you've got competing businesses and it's not exactly so big of a area, right? There's gonna be some politics.
There is, and
Yeah.
there's always politics in any business lah.
So what's the politics about Aman Tioman?
There's
Expensive or
I don't know the politics lah, but I know that if you ask one dive center, they will say, oh, Aman Tioman is like. You ask Aman Tioman, maybe they will say this site is like this, like they don't take care of the guests lah, they don't do this properly lah. You know,
okay.
it's
petty shit
all petty shit that
Yeah.
I think the dive industry is too small to be having these issues lah.
Bro, my buddy tells me that he's at Aman Tioman. He tells me like he wakes up every day, just do a bit of accounting work, bring the people who the tourists come, take them to go dive, send them out. He doesn't go and dive, send them out, then just follow up with his paperwork stuff like that. And then by the time after lunch is chill already.
Yeah.
Chill whole day until night and drink and just chill by they got some entertainment, people singing and all.
Yeah.
So that's what you guys do also.
We have it more kampung style lah.
Yeah, so like I said, our mornings will be sometimes a walk. Most times after that is work. Then after that, we chill in the afternoon because it gets really hot on the island.
Bro, trust me, I think right, the one thing that I would really miss if I were to stay for so long is a gym. Do they have a gym there?
No. They have the ocean where you can swim.
You can cardio lah. You can always do cardio. Okay, Yeah, but I can imagine getting really comfortable there. I have a buddy actually, he stays next door only. He went there for 1 whole year, man.
Nice.
He stayed there for 1 whole year, worked at the center there.
Mm.
Yeah, and he came back and asked him why he came back. He said it was too comfortable there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You,
was.
you get to a point where you're like, actually, I don't need to leave.
Yeah, it was too comfortable and it's too much drinking also. Yeah, apparently can get super cheap alcohol over there.
Yeah.
Why,
because it's duty free.
But how come it works that way?
So on normal Malaysian soil, you have to pay tax for your alcohol. On duty free islands, you don't have to pay that tax.
Duty free? Is it most islands are like that?
No. It's like,
Langkawi.
Langkawi, Pangkor, Tioman.
Is Pangkor?
Pangkor is duty free.
Oh, okay.
How much are we talking about for a crate?
So I wouldn't know a crate, but I would know a can is about 4 ringgit. So
Yeah,
a can of Tiger.
It's literally half price.
Yeah.
Here 7-Eleven is gonna be 9 like that.
9 ringgit. Yeah.
Yeah, half price.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's why it's cheaper lah.
Okay.
It's nice lah. Drink a beer. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking
afternoon.
about diving just now. Yeah.
Mm.
So trigger fishes or what you should look out for. What else?
Triggerfish.
Remora eels.
Eels. Actually, they won't bother you. unless you
Remora,
go-
is it electric?
No. They're. No, sometimes you see turtles or sharks, and then they have this fish that's just stuck in there.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Those are remoras. Sometimes you get loose, and then because you are a large object in the water, they think you are protection.
Yeah,
So they
that's-
chase after you to latch onto you.
Yeah.
Suckerfish.
They try to
They're-
parasite on you.
Yeah, they don't really do any harm. It's just that you get really like this really like ticklish feeling when they come and suction on you.
I learned before. I forgot what they call their relationship, but they're not a parasite.
They're
It's like
not.
a neutral.
Yeah, symbiotic.
Yes, there's benefit for both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but what? Oh, they actually do latch on to humans.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
They, some like they latch onto your diving tank, sometimes to the side of your leg and things like that.
But
But the
the-
most dangerous thing in the sea is gonna be yourself. If like you panic or you do stupid things.
stingrays.
Stingrays
Seals are
also
fine,
no.
Yeah, they tend to
You-
leave you alone.
Yeah.
So now, how did Steve Irwin get wrecked with?
he jumped off the boat without looking. So he was on the boat. I think he jumped straight in chest first, right?
Yeah.
Then the stingray hit straight through the heart.
So the stingray was probably also in panic, lah. Like
Yeah,
that.
I panicked. What is the animal? I don't think he would blame the animal. Also,
Yeah, of
you
course.
know.
Yeah. Okay.
But if I go like that, I go like that. Lah.
Okay. What's the biggest fish you've seen?
Biggest
That
fish.
grouper, you know that
Yeah, Goliath grouper.
Goliath grouper.
Yeah, I've seen one of those. Biggest. Okay, yeah, this is not fair, but it was not in Malaysia lah. It's in
Nusa Penida.
Nusa Penida, Bali. The manta rays.
Manta are huge, right?
Huge, man, huge. I forgot the exact wingspan, but it was at least as big as this room.
What?
Yeah, the wingspan was
Wait,
there.
wait,
there.
what?
Yeah.
That's more than about 4 meters. Like
Yeah,
that lah.
4-5 meters.
Thank
What
God
the
they're filter
fuck?
feeders.
Yeah, they just. Yeah.
And you don't go
Crazy
near
big.
them, lah, of course.
You can try to get near, but they look slow, but they're way faster than you, lah. Yeah.
Okay.
We were going. So me and a friend Stacy, she and I were buddies diving, and we found one. Everyone else was somewhere else, so it was just me and her. So this manta, for some reason, was swimming away from us. Then it saw us and it started circling us, and it just followed us for a good 3-4 minutes, and then it shot off into.
It's just fascinated, I guess.
Yeah, and you could see it's making eye contact. It's trying to figure out what you're doing in the water.
Yeah.
And I
It's
think
cute.
all animals are like that.
Yeah. So manta is the biggest one, biggest.
It is the
stingray.
biggest I've seen, but I have not seen a whale shark yet.
Have you seen a whale? There's no
I-
whales in Malaysia.
We have whale sharks.
There are whale sightings once in a while, but yeah,
Are there seals?
there are no seals.
No
Seals
seals.
cold.
Yeah.
country.
Okay. The climate is different.
But we do have dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah, dolphins a lot of times in Tioman, Redang, they just follow the boat.
But how far do you have to go out to see the dolphins?
Not very far.
Usually, sometimes it's even a snorkeling trip to the neighboring islands.
Tell me about the dolphins, man. They actually like to interact with humans, right?
They do.
In Malay, they are called ikan lumba-lumba because they like to race the boat. So when they see the boat
Yeah.
come, they like to just come beside it and race.
Yeah.
That's
I've
amazing.
seen videos like that.
Yeah, so they they come and so we will start knocking the boat. So when we see ikan lumba like far away, we'll start tapping on the boat, tapping the hull of the boat so it can hear. They start coming and they start tapping the boat with their fin as well. So we are going fast.
Yeah.
They're tapping with their tails, and they're asking you to go faster as well.
Bro, it's so cute, man. I love dolphins. We.
Our boats have not beat them yet.
Yeah.
Like, they're fast.
They're really fast.
Like we'll be going there on the water and be bouncing on the water like that, and we feel
torpedo.
And you look at their expressions. It's almost as if they are smiling and having fun with you.
they are.
They are, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're still wild animals, so I wouldn't, recommend you jump in and start playing with them.
How I would relate this to, right? Like why they are fascinated with humans is because we all know dolphins are they are the most intelligent sea creature mammals, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I think so.
And maybe they sort of know that about humans as well. We are more intelligent, so maybe they want to come and play with us or interact.
That
I don't know.
it could be. It really could be. You're right.
Yeah, maybe we're definitely more emotive, animated than the another fish or something.
Yeah.
Smarter monkeys are.
But have you watched
What's up?
what is that? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you should watch that.
Yeah.
That's a really good movie. Like they say in the movie, like humans are only the third smartest animals on the
so
planet.
behind dolphins.
Behind dolphins, and then there's another reveal to the movie at the end lah. But it's fiction lah.
Alien lah.
It's fiction lah, but it's a fun movie.
Okay.
But I do think dolphins are smart lah. They know what's going on. They know what's up.
If you could have any animal, you wouldn't want to, is it?
I wouldn't want to lah. I think dogs are enough. I headache with my dogs already.
Dogs are enough because they are very comfortable in your
Pheasants. And,
not in your presence. Staying. They are meant to be. I mean, they are just meant to be owned by humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other animals is not their nature.
Yeah, it's not. And you're taking something away from its home and its natural environment. I think dogs are meant to be around humans lah.
Hey, bro, just now you were talking about the horror story, that one. Yeah, come, let's get back to that.
Lupa sudah. So, I was walking in Taman Negara in the afternoon, and it was starting to get late. It was about 6 p.m. already.
But what did you hear about? What was the story that you heard before that, lah?
I didn't hear any story at all.
Oh.
I just decided, I have nothing to do. I want to take a walk. I want to take a trek through the jungle. So I went and hiked. And as I'm walking through the jungle, I can hear separate footsteps from myself. So I'm taking 1 2 1 2, and I can hear beside me 1 2 1 2.
Okay.
Right.
Tuk, 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 tuk,
just behind and beside me. And I turn around, there's no one there. So as I'm walking, I don't know whether it's my head or something lah, but I can feel that there's someone there walking with me. So I just stop for a little while and just say, okay, I say to myself and out loud, I just want to walk through the jungle. I hope that I'm not disturbing anybody, and I hope that you give me permission to just walk and come back on my own. Then after it stops.
What, you said that?
Yeah, I said that out loud.
Okay, so you see, reason I asked, right, what was the story you heard before that?
Yeah.
Is because usually if people hear a story or a tale about all this sort of weird supernatural things, right, then it would go to their head and then it might play out. But you didn't hear any of that before it happened to you.
No, but there are a lot of folk tales about Orang Bunyan, the forest spirits. There's a lot of folk tales about Pontianak. There's a lot of folk tales about a lot of
remember when we were
ghosts.
younger, right? There's those so there was a couple of these. They look like they catch the. I forgot what is it. The one that looks like a bat one in a jar.
Oh, Toyol.
Yeah, there's a lot of those pictures of what. Obviously, those were hoax last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, could be hoax, could be real. You never know. I'm at the stage where if it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. Just as long as it doesn't bother me.
Okay, but after that, how did you feel after that?
After that, I was okay. Even throughout, hearing the footsteps and all, it it was okay. Like, it wasn't like super scary, but I could feel someone walking there with me.
Okay.
It was not intimidating. It was not angry. It was just maybe wanted to know what I'm doing there.
Okay. You, John, have you ever experienced something like that?
Very, very rarely, because he would be the one that likes to go into the jungle, and
Alone.
I would like to be in infrastructure,
Yeah.
Okay. You're more
indoorsy.
okay. I see.
Yeah, there are a few stories like in Borneo Safari. So it's where we took 4x4s and went straight into the jungle for like 8 days.
Borneo, which part?
Sabah.
Yeah.
Sabah. So
But which
Kota Belud. The year
Okay.
we went was Kota Belud. So this one didn't happen to me. It happened to some of my friends. They say at night they were all sleeping in their car, in their truck, and they could hear knocking on their window, someone knocking, and one of them opened the door to find a kid sitting down in the ground
okay.
at the foot of the
Okay.
truck. And then when they go out, the kid runs away, and then they cannot find the kid anymore.
Okay. Maybe the kid is raised by orangutans or I don't know, one of those stories. Bro, do you know there's actually cases like that?
Yeah.
Like I saw an interview. I can't remember what's it called. But this kid that was somehow lost. The parents lost him in the jungle and raised by orangutans for like, I don't know, 10 years or something. Then he came back to civilization. Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
It's kind of like a Jungle Book kind of thing, lah.
Hey, bro, it's exactly a jungle. Yeah, I forgot about Jungle Book. Yeah, but that was the case.
Tarzan as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, dude. Tell me what's the end goal with small towns, man?
Okay, so personally, the selfish goal would be for us to visit all the small towns in the country.
And why do you say that's selfish?
Because that's something that I want. At least me, I want to do that for myself. Like, I want to visit all the towns in the country.
Has anyone done that before? You think about it, lah. Not that you know of, right?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of either. It's quite an undertaking, because even though our country looks small, there are actually many small towns that are dotted around our map. And like I said earlier, we only covered like 100 of these towns. We have like maybe another 350 more that we know of to go.
Bro, is it safe to say each of these towns? No, lah. Actually, you don't spend a night, lah. It's like half a day sometimes, right? At these towns. Yeah. You guys covered. If you said got 300 more, means you're already about 25% covered.
That we know of. So I can't say.
The list is growing.
Yeah.
But how do you? Oh, y'all don't actually look at the like. Actually, is there even an accurate map? You know,
Probably
that lists all the small towns. No, right?
Probably the government has it.
Yeah, maybe the government has it, but yeah, I've looked and I
There isn't.
there isn't a comprehensive list
So-
of every small town.
So, for example, they have a couple of small towns like Barrio like that, but there's many more not even listed not even listed.
It's probably listed somewhere in the census, you know. It is there. Only thing is we don't have access to it. We haven't found it yet.
So
But if you look at our parliamentary seats, it's 222, right? 222,
Yeah.
right? So imagine each of this. There's actually more than
there's
one.
there's
town
like 5 small towns, maybe 5 small towns or something.
So you times by 222.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of towns, man.
Yeah. Okay, so perhaps you guys are only 10%, man.
Perhaps 20%. I would like to hope that it's less sometimes. I hope that it's more sometimes.
Do you all know of anyone else doing something like this?
I mean, there are many creators going around exploring Malaysia, doing
small
things
towns,
similar
yeah.
what we do.
I know a few that are exploring small towns after they saw our page and they're
Yeah.
like, nah, I want to go and
Inspired
see
lah,
this. Yeah,
basically.
I hope that we inspire more people lah.
Yeah. I'm sure people reach out and tell you all that lah.
Yeah, there are some who do lah. Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what I love about what we do also. And if you ask me what's the goal with small towns, is to get people to fall in love and appreciate the small towns that we have, to appreciate our country for what it is, not what people tell us that we need.
Yeah.
You know.
Bro, that's why one of the things that I was thinking about, right, like when I'm gonna speak with you guys, right, is I don't know, are you guys actually like, do y'all feel so removed from all the news that we all see?
I think
Like, are y'all, does that even show up usually on your algorithms or what, or y'all are just so removed from it that you can't be bothered?
We are not removed. We actually do get the news about the happenings and going ons. But we don't allow it to affect us or our work.
Which
It's
is
just
great.
good to know. You have to know.
yeah.
But
So surprisingly, we are very far apart in like physical terms, right? I'm living in small towns, you're living in city, but all the things that you mentioned to me, I do see as well. Like
Yeah.
all the news that
Yeah.
you mentioned, I do see as well. So that means we might be in the same echo chamber.
But that doesn't mean that the people in the towns are seeing that.
No,
They are
No.
probably not lah.
maybe they are, maybe they're not. Some who I've talked to, they do get the same news.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is something interesting. Do you guys go to any small towns in Kelantan?
yeah,
Yeah, tell me about it, because from our side, right, the left side, right, Chinese people all think it's damn racist and all. Their side is a different story lah. They say like, bro, Chinese are all there. They all speak the same language. So how's it actually like there?
it's as you say. The Chinese there, they assimilated very well into the towns there. They speak local Kelantanese.
Which small towns have y'all gone there?
Okay, so we've been to Gua Musang. We've been to
Tumpat.
is Tumpat in Kelantan? Yeah, Tumpat is in Kelantan. Then we've been to Machang. We've been to Tanah Merah. We've been to quite a few towns lah.
Not gonna lie, man. If you look at the narrative from mainstream media, right, it's always Kelantan is the poorest town, highest crime rates, all those shit. But it might be true, but it's also painting a very
Bleak
negative picture.
I
Yeah.
don't know why that is, because when all the towns in Kelantan I've been to are beautiful towns, and there's no this like animosity between races. It doesn't exist as I mean there is Chinese people, there is Indian people in Kelantan, and they're fine.
Yeah.
They're treated fine, and they treat the other communities. It's
Like, very honestly, it seems... I do not know why Kelantan and Terengganu is painted as very backwater or like less tolerant.
Yeah, so how, I mean, it's similar to how right wing political parties have their narrative of Chinese people.
Yes.
Okay, we're trying to take over the country or some shit like that. Chinese people are selfish. We also have our narrative of
Yes.
the left wing also have the narrative of the far right stuff lah.
Yeah. I think we need a more moderate Malaysia, like Pat lah put it, right? But be be centered lah. Yeah, centrist a bit. Not too left, not too right. And I think that's important right now lah.
Yeah.
Because one side will believe the other side is the enemy, the other side will believe this side is the enemy.
Oh, that's why. You know, I had Siti Kasim on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Professor Tajuddin, which is they are Malay Muslims that are very outspoken about politicians that abuse their power and playing race politics or that, which is true. People do that, but I also feel like it's very heavy for me when I look at all the comments and stuff like that, because I start to understand that we come from different worlds. That's number one.
Yeah.
And the right way for me to have all these people on, right, it's only fair if I were to have people from their side also, from the other side, the Malay community, the more conservative Malay community, and talk about it. Then only it's fair. So I don't know, I feel like I want to take a break from all this political shit, man. It's heavy, bro.
We as small towns, we don't participate in any political games. We try to stay away. One, I at least don't understand enough to talk about it.
Yeah,
I don't understand. I do participate in voting and all of that.
Yeah.
Based on what I know, but to talk about it, unless you're maybe you've been in the system like KJ has.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to KJ one day.
I would love to. One thing I don't know, man. I always think that these top any politician who is successful, right? They're doing a lot of fucked up things also lah behind their backs, and actually it's wrong to say this lah. I wanted to say like they're there not just for the best interest of our nation and all.
Yeah.
I can't say that for everyone, but it does seem that way lah.
Yeah, it does seem that way. And but I think, okay, having political leanings is good because everyone should have an opinion.
Yeah.
But I also think that hating another group is wrong. You know, you should not hate another person just because they have a different political opinion from it. They are Malaysian as well, and you have to accept that Malaysians are gonna be Malaysian. You know, this is how we are.
I mean, you think about it, right? Another way also I look at it is, let's say between right and left, right? Okay. The right and left, right? Let's say if you are left, the right side is not just 1,000 people, 5,000 people. It's perhaps almost 50%. Sorry, not 50%. I think most people are center. But like, it's a huge amount, millions and millions of people.
Yeah.
They can't just be thinking that way because that way is totally wrong and they are the enemy. It can't be that way. They have their story as well.
Yeah.
You know, and before understanding how they believe and how they think, to just name call and like have hatred towards them, it doesn't make any sense at all.
It doesn't. It does not make any sense. Like, why all this hate? Why are we being programmed to have hate towards each other?
It gets heavy when you look into history of, and especially when you talk about war and all that. It's fucked up. Yeah, hey bro, okay, last question okay?
Yeah.
Then let you guys off. So you have talked to a lot of people all over Malaysia, small towns, right? The real Malaysian people. Do you think you need money to be happy?
Yes.
Are they content?
There are.
Okay, you answer first.
You do need money to be happy, but money shouldn't be the thing that makes you happy. You know? Because ultimately you're going to need money to survive. And without it, you cannot survive, and thus you may not be happy. That's my thought on it.
Yeah, you need money as a necessity to live, but is it going to make you happy? No. Money is not going to make you happy.
But I don't know, like you see these memes on the internet, it's like it's nicer to be sad in a BMW than to be sad in a right?
On a bicycle.
So yeah.
I think that also really depends, man.
It really depends.
I don't think that's like what you said lah is you to be crying in living in a palace than to be crying living in a kampung like that. You know, which is sadder. It's also subjective, and who really knows?
So now you're doing podcasting full time. You have control of your own time. You have control of your own finances. You have your own
freedom.
Freedom.
I live a very stress-free life.
Yes, I mean, it's a blessed life lah.
A very blessed life.
Yeah, very blessed. This is what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
But how much would you give up? What salary point would you give up this to go and pursue that salary? So let's say it's an office job. You have to drive for 1 hour in the traffic every morning, and then 1 hour back. Your boss is, a full-on B.
Yeah. Full-on asshole.
Yeah, full-on B. So what is that number?
So you see, right, the number right now, if I have a family of my own, is very different.
Yeah.
But now I don't.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't have that temptation, right now. I put my time into this, into building this. But like I said, it will be very different if I have a partner, then we're going to settle down, have kids and all. Then I would have to think more about that sort of stuff.
As you are now.
Yes.
If I say,
what's the number?
What's now? 50K I give you. 50K a month.
No, bro. The truth is, oh shit, 50K is a lot. Yeah. I thought a year,
But it's not a year, it's a 10-year contract.
A year I would have been, if it was a year, right, then I would have been doing something other than podcast a long time ago already.
50K a month?
50K a month?
For 10 years.
For 10 years, it won't go up, it won't go down. For 10 years, but you have to hard up that every day, even sometimes work on the weekends. So you give up 10 years of your life. It's like going to prison for 10 years of your life.
Bro, unless I don't have a place to stay, okay, I'm fortunate enough staying in my family home.
Yeah.
Unless I don't have a place to stay, no food to eat or whatever,
Yeah.
I cannot compare myself, or I cannot be put in that situation, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very lucky. I'm not tempted by these stuff of things. How about you, bro?
I guess we're all speaking from a place of privilege. You know,
If you have a okay, like you have a shelter,
yeah,
right? A family home.
yeah,
And also don't forget, you've got people that love you no matter what,
yeah,
right? That is already privilege, man.
Yeah, that is.
I like to think that the mega rich
mm-hmm.
and the average, you can also be already so super privileged.
yeah.
Yeah, and so you guys will answer the same thing.
I would say the same thing. I would not be doing anything
Bro,
else.
can you imagine 10 years of your life? You know
Yeah.
what the fuck you guys have already been doing in the last 2 years?
Yeah,
You're doing more than most people ever will.
yeah.
Seen more than most people ever will.
Yeah.
I
It
But
broadens your
ultimate-
mind.
It does, but I think ultimately it's also what you're willing to give up. I feel like anybody can do what we do, but are you willing to give up your comfort? Are you willing to give up your weekends, your time, a lot of things?
you guys are also giving up things.
Of
But
course.
your giving up things is not the same as giving up and going to the same office every day and doing what your boss tell you to do.
True, but like you see from the other side, as an office worker, you get financial stability.
30,000
You-
a month.
like
It's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money, but
It's a
it's
lot.
it's stable, so you know you
Yes.
can plan.
Yes.
But doing what we do, we sacrifice that stability to chase
Passions.
passion. So, and then we give up, like for us, we give up relationships, family time, things like that, you know?
Yeah, I'm supposed to go to a birthday party next week, but one of my cousins turning 40. But unfortunately,
you don't have to get drunk that night.
yeah, you know,
Is it like that?
yeah, my goddaughter's birthdays I've missed. You know, my nephews,
And then
nieces.
supposing
you miss a
there's
lot of things.
yeah, supposing there's an emergency, we're not around or close enough to attend to these emergencies
But
immediately.
then we're privileged enough to have families who don't need us to care for them the whole time.
Yes.
You know, not everyone is that privileged to be doing what we're doing, and that's why we all should be thankful, I guess.
100%, bro. Yeah.
Gratitude is very important.
Yeah. There's this quote from my favorite fighter, Conor McGregor. If you're truly grateful for everything that you have, you'll be successful in everything that you do.
Yeah.
Truly grateful.
Yeah.
So if you're not successful, means you're not truly grateful yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also another side of it is you work in that job, the 50K a month job.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not 10 years, 5 years. And then all the traveling and doing whatever you guys are doing now
Yeah.
is a bit more stress-free because you've got the funds.
You got the funds.
You take the jobs that you want to take,
Yeah.
you go to the places you want to take, and you spend the amount of time that you want to spend. So it's
Yeah.
also a trade-off.
It's a trade-off. You give up your time for, whatever. But then, once you're comfortable with that 50K a month, and they say, okay, 10 years is up, but I'm going to upgrade you to 75K a month, another 10-year contract.
This
You probably take it because you're so comfortable with that life.
No,
you know?
I think that's very different because it depends on the person that you are as well.
Mm.
And also the responsibilities that you attach to yourself to.
Yeah.
Obviously, 50K to 75K, if you maybe it's just you and your partner, you don't have to desperately need that increase.
Yeah.
If you have a family, all is different. You might want more and more. I think a lot of it is just how materialistic you are also, because 50 to 70K is 50K is very sufficient
Yeah.
for a healthy family, bro.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no vacations lah,
Oh, where got such thing, bro? Every job you work at
This is
also
a
got vacation.
fantasy, there's no job offering 50K right now to people like us lah.
Bro, no vacation.
No vacation.
Who would take it?
I mean, you
That's-
think about it, like say,
That's the thing about this question lah. It's whether your time is more important, your freedom of your time on earth is more important than having the money in your bank.
That's why I feel like the people that would choose the money in the bank, right,
Yeah.
is something I definitely cannot understand, but I can understand why a lot of people would do that.
Yeah.
For example, that is really sick, needs chemotherapy. It's just
Yeah.
a very very logical explanation why someone would do that, you know. But if the dude is comfortable, right, he's not in any dire need of like a shelter or just need food or whatever, right, a lot of people might not just give that up, because we've heard this time and time again, bro. You know that saying, you only live once, you know, we're only on this earth once. And then you hear stories of people 40s, 50s, CEOs or whatever, mega rich, and they're like, money doesn't make you happy, you know, spend time with friends, see the world. It's all real things also, dude.
It is. And okay, so that I don't know, that white guy on Trump's side, he said like, oh, Malaysians have no money.
What's his name? O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly.
I don't even know the guy's name. That's how insignificant he is, lah. But
he is. I also don't know anything about him, but I assume that is exactly what he does. Make hot takes on news shows or some whatever broadcast. He just makes hot takes.
But honestly, we go to school, we don't get shot. Right?
Yeah.
You know, we can afford, most of us can afford housing. You know, we can go to school. Healthcare, exactly. My granddad just had to go to the hospital, had to go on drip. He had a bit of a health scare recently. Just only I took him to government hospital. You know how much it cost me? 0.
Fantastic.
0. He's senior citizen, is ex-army. So he just showed his army card, full treatment, everything done. Like within the day, we got everything done. The nurses came with wheelchairs. You know, they attended to him 100%.
Government hospital.
Government hospital.
I have a similar story, man. My grandma, when did she pass away? 2 years ago, maybe, or 2 years or 3 years. Anyways, her last few months, bedridden. The hospital was super attentive when she was discharged from hospital, wanted to, I guess, spend her final months at home with the family or whatever. They sent over the bed, a hospital bed for her. Whenever needed any help or what, they will always be attentive and all. Yeah, so I heard the same story, and I guess it's surprising because my family's experience was with private hospitals before that. So they were also surprised at how efficient they were.
How well versed, how much they did an X-ray for him. They did everything for him within 1 day.
And really all free.
All free. Everything's done well. You know, they have all the equipment they need. They have all the assistance that you will need. I'm looking at it and like, okay, you say we have no money, we have all of this, you know? And we have, if you go to the local wet markets, you have good organic food. You don't have to eat processed food. So recently I saw a TikTok, right? And this lady was preparing dinner for her family in the US. And she was opening everything out of plastic bags and cans, and everything was like sausages, tuna spam, you know, chips from a bag, and then she puts cheese that's from another bag.
I guess certain things, let's say cars, over there they get it way cheaper.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
the truth. There's certain things. I don't know, my cost of living, right? Because I was looking at the outrage, right, when the outrage people had seeing Bill O'Reilly's comment, right? But I took it as there is some point that some points that make sense, but to say that you have no money and all, he obviously doesn't know anything about Malaysia, lah. Yeah,
he said Barack Obama grew up here.
He thought it's Indonesia, lah.
Yeah.
But cost of living in Malaysia is probably is way higher, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
no, cost of living is lower.
Is it? You think about it?
Yeah, I think about it. Cost of living in Malaysia.
Okay, this is another question now.
Yeah.
I don't know about America. How much do they get taxed, man?
Quite a bit.
More than here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, we do get taxed quite a bit.
When you said the hospital fees all free, it's not really free. We pay our tax.
Yeah, we pay our tax.
Yeah, it's not really free, but it's what you pay for.
Yeah, but I guess our thing is that we don't let private companies like in the US take over our government.
That is the big talk right now, man.
Yeah.
Right, in America, people are talking about the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
And gun.
The pew.
There's this thing that they all kept mentioning. So I heard Joe Rogan talking about this. They are supposedly the greatest country in the world, but they are also no wait. They are the richest, is it? Are they the richest?
Yeah, they are like cumulatively.
How can they be rich when they have
poor.
how many trillions in debt?
It's because of the money is not with the middle class or the lower class. It's all the 1%, the 0.1% that own 80% of the wealth in the
Everything.
country. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were saying that they also have the most sick people in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
And-
most jailed people, most people in prison.
Yeah, and apparently the reason why they have the most sick people is because it's incentivized for them to not it's incentivized for the pharmaceutical companies to have people
Yeah.
remain sick and not
Yeah.
recover,
I'm going to go into conspiracy territory here, but it's all like one big system.
Now I know what you do in the small towns,
Of course.
what rabbit holes you go down.
No, but you can see it as well. It's a system. If someone owns the food company, the medical, and everything else, they'll be like, I want people to eat the shit so that they get sick, and then they have to use my medicine to get better. I'm not going to make them fully better so they can get sick some more so that I can earn more money.
I believe that corporations are evil and they will exploit human beings like that.
Yeah.
But
do sponsors if you can.
but whether it's in one whole chain like you mentioned, that one I'm not so sure. Like where the food and the hospital, and the medical are all connected, I'm not sure. I think each of them are evil, and they make their own evil contracts, and which exploit humans. So I do believe that's true, bro. No, it's do you all look at like war histories and all? Do you look into history?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at watching this documentary on Netflix into Vietnam.
Okay.
So do you all know much about when America was in Vietnam?
I don't know much lah.
What okay, from what I've seen so far, I've only watched the first episode. It's a 5-part documentary series. South Vietnam was in America was supporting South Vietnam. So it was a slow process also. They said they send support military advisory support or some shit like that, but actually they were sending troops to fight also. The South Vietnamese were fighting against the North Vietnamese because North Vietnamese were popping up a lot of communists. Okay, honestly, if you ask me what the fuck is communist, I don't know. We just think of communists as bad people, but the same thing again lah. Communist people, everyone believes they're doing good lah.
Yeah.
So yes, that was the narrative that they pushed out, okay, to their country. Obviously, they have to feed their country a narrative so that they can take action, right? So they kept saying like, okay, so it's going to be a domino effect. If the communities take control in Vietnam, then they will go to neighboring countries and then eventually to Europe, blah blah blah. That's the excuse that they gave. What happens was they spent 20 years there. A lot of innocent people died.
Yeah.
Eventually, they withdraw, and what did they accomplish? And they're saying that the same shit happened after 9/11. 9/11, that one more recent, they invaded Afghanistan because of 9/11. There was the excuse that, okay, they had weapons of mass destruction, go inside there, and what did they do? They took control of they took control of they took their petroleum. And one thing that I heard of this recently only, I don't hear people talking about it much, but one of the biggest poppy plantation, right, is in Afghanistan. One of the first few things they did, right, when they went there is also to take control of the poppy plantation.
Yeah, but this is what all big powers do, right? They paint pictures for you. They say like, oh, this country looks like that, so that I can go and invade them, or so that everyone looks down on them or turns a blind eye when they go and invade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm afraid of, I'm sick of it actually, of people painting our narrative as Malaysians for us.
Yeah.
You know, like other countries come in and say, oh, Malaysia is like this, or even foreigners, when they come visit, they go back, they paint their picture and people listen to them. Why aren't we painting our own picture?
Bro, we've got people painting pictures here, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, the people painting pictures here, which grasp a really wide range of citizens, are the political leaders, and they also paint fucked up narratives, man.
Yeah, I believe so, and I
Dude,
think
see, I only know this side because I'm obviously Chinese lah.
Yeah.
But the picture that they paint to a lot of the majority Malays is that us Chinese, we want to take over the country.
Yeah.
We are they literally use the argument, right? Sometimes it will just be a like Siti Kasim reel that didn't say anything about Chinese, okay? And there's some dude, right, that will comment, China yang top 10 richest in Malaysia. Now I'll ask him, what does that have anything to do?
Yeah.
And then he will say like, the Chinese people are controlling everything and they only give jobs to Chinese people. And I'm thinking like, how can someone come to such a conclusion when it doesn't make any sense with this reel? What then I'm like, they also have been painted their narrative.
Yeah, and that's what I'm also sick of lah. Like I feel like we need to take back control of that. Like we need to paint our own picture lah. You know.
Yeah, but that's why we are doing Small Towns to
Yeah.
paint our picture.
Yeah.
You guys paint your own picture. You don't have to let anyone influence you all, and that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do lah. But you know, you're tired of getting this shit as well lah. I see it all the time.
Don't know, bro. I don't know. Don't care.
Yeah, I hope that this video doesn't, you know,
No lah, I won't lah, bro. We talk about all chill stuff. lah.
fluffy stuff.
Yeah, chill stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any last stuff or whatever?
So this
Any last things? Yeah. You have to go, right? Can we wrap up?
Yeah, we can wrap up.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, John?
Last messages to your listeners or what?
Visit Small Towns.
Yeah. If you don't know where to go in your next trip, visit our page. But if not, just look for a small town to visit.
Bro, 100%. Look at their page and you get a lot more ideas. Probably more than Google will help you. Yeah, it's easier lah. Okay, easier to pick lah. You just watch a 1 minute video and you see what you like.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I really hope that it helps more people appreciate what they have, appreciate the small towns that we have, and go and take videos and pictures and like hopefully we have a snowball effect lah.
Yeah, visit small towns, not just your kampungs.
Yeah, so all the small towns.
Yeah. Okay, guys, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode and you've listened up to this point, I don't think it'll be too much of a favor to ask from you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment what you thought about today's episodes, who you want to see in future podcast episodes. And yeah, give it up for Ash and John, the creators of SmallTownsMY. Go check them out on Instagram. You guys have YouTube?
We are not very
It's dormant right now.
dormant.
Yeah.
Not active on YouTube.
But it's the same format. Y'all don't just chuck it on YouTube.
No, we want to make long format for YouTube, not shorts for YouTube.
Okay,
Yeah.
the shorts will help though.
Yeah.
Whatever you have, just chuck it. You'll get some subs, man, for that. But anyways, yeah, TikTok, Instagram, follow them, SmallTownsMY. Creators John and Ash, and we will see you in the next episode.
Thank you.
To my homies, I'm missing my oldies, my brothers, my cronies. We all went to court, but before only courts that we knew were the ones where we were shooting three, selling Kobe. To a legend, rest in peace to the old me, rest in peace to my brothers, rest in peace to my whole team. The oldest, I'm missing my shawty.